A world nearly destroyed by a cataclysm, saved by the actions of heroes long gone. A world that has survived, recovered, and even thrived. This is the world of Tyr. Here, the descendants of those heroes and the other survivors of the cataclysm have built great nations, the 8 pillars that support the world. Nearly 1,500 years after the cataclysm, the world is one of relative calm. However, beneath this veneer of peace, great forces move. With every shift and shudder, they threaten to disrupt the delicate balance that keeps the pillars standing. Now, across the world, knowingly or not, people must become heroes, or the pillars will fall and Tyr will be no more. Join us as we follow some of those heroes and see their struggles to keep their world from destruction. Hello everybody, and welcome to Tyr Moontree Isle. My name is Scholar Trainer, and I am the program director and one of the founders of Helpful Goat Gaming, small independent game design and game content creation community, and tonight we are playing some Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition with a little bit of a twist. Namely the theming that you've seen, courtesy of the amazing trailer by Sam Winnie. And lots of backgrounds and flavor. As I mentioned, we are a game design and game content creation community. If you'd like to join that community, you can use !Discord to get a link to our Discord. I like the fact that instead of noticing you eating food, I notice your comment in the chat.
I'm just making sure everybody knows that I'm providing a service to the masses.
Okay.
You know,
we provide. We're providing. Okay.
Entertainment services.
Rachel's got bagel and cream cheese, which sounds really good. I haven't had a bagel in a long time. Oh, I'm sad. Well, that just derailed all of the introductions.
Mastication entertainment.
Oh.
Yes, exactly.
Get real close to the mic.
Exclamation point Discord. Get a link to join our Discord. You can also follow us on our socials at Helpful Goat on Twitter and Instagram. Check out us on Facebook. Check out us on, we're good. This is going so well. Facebook, just look for Helpful Goat Gaming. You can check out our full archives of everything we stream on YouTube. Again, just look for Helpful Goat Gaming. And you can check out our podcast feeds for some of our campaigns, including this one. You can find this one in the Helpful Goat Presents podcast feed. And we also have Andy, another founder of Helpful Goat and another of our DMs, in Goats and Dragons. Gonna touch on a couple of things. Oh, hey, I totally forgot one piece, didn't I? Yep, sure did. It's good. We're doing good. This is going well. This is going well. This is how we wanted it. Coming up next week here on Twitch, we have on Wednesday, Goats of Saltmarsh, DM'd by... Okay, I pointed too enthusiastically and like my hand was over there, and I'm also not pointing at you because of the damn overlay. It's fine. That way. DM'd by Rachel, in which we take down burrito smuggling gangs and generally freak the hell out of the populace of the town of Saltmarsh. On Thursday, we have Spire, which just concluded its first annual Blood Ball, which was absolutely amazing. Somewhere in the night, Ken, Dan, and Ichi Jim are dabbing / jumping off of Spire to catch frisbees, and Bev is drinking, wondering why. How is any amount of silver worth this?
I think Bev is having a nice glass of wine with her husband, just having a night in, getting a foot massage.
Being like,
thinking
you
about
will never
maybe a bath
believe these
tonight?
people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's pretty. It is very much you'll never believe, but also oh my God, you'll never believe what I did at work today.
But also the box of chocolates now. And then on Friday we have Goats and Dragons, which features our long-running campaign, which features the family now having dealt with one bunch of nonsense, going to deal with another bunch of nonsense. I've heard rumors of undead gods. Yay. Also, as an announcement, very new to us, we just started this on Saturday, ! Merch, because we now have merch. And additionally, hit the button. Work better. We have a giveaway tonight. Debuting a new piece of merch, actually.
Ooh.
Which should now be entirely covering myself and Sam. Sorry, buddy. A new Welcome to Moontree City t-shirt. Featuring one of the alternate Moontree City graphics. A little Helpful Goat logo up on the right sleeve. That is what is currently replacing me. Yeah, we're super excited about it. We're super excited about the merch in general. We love getting to share that with you. So the giveaway should now be live in the chat. You can use the command !GOAT giveaway, and you enter the giveaway. To answer the question that is in chat, yes, players can enter the giveaway. The shirt comes in 5 different colors, comes in a variety of sizes, which you get to pick if you are selected as the winner. A quick note, only followers can win the shirt, but following on Twitch is free, so you can just go ahead and hit the follow button, go ahead and enter that, and then you will be eligible to win. So yeah, !GOAT giveaway. That message will repeat throughout the night, and also if chat can help people if they have any questions about how do. Yeah, we're super excited to have merch. This is one of the reasons that we're super excited. We get to do giveaways like this. We get to give things back to the people who are watching us. We get to give things back to the people who are playing. And we have a variety of other merch in there. We're also adding a lot of stuff. We started this, like I said, 6 days ago with like 5 things, and we're up to like 15. I'll be adding a bit more stuff over this weekend, including shirts in this design, in like tanks and other things. Every time I say that, I picture like an armored combat vehicle for some reason. Maybe it's because I've been thinking a lot about Moontree City design. It's fine. That's not ominous for y'all. It's cool.
Wait, there are going to be tanks?
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Patch is hijacking a tank.
I was going to say there's going to be tanks and we're going to be in them.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say Minnow's down. Yeah. Okay, just drop something. It's fine. Wasn't breakable. But yeah, I think with that, we have covered most of the information for this evening's stream, most of the business. Like I said, you can follow us here on Twitch, totally free. You can also cheer and subscribe to us. Both of those things help us out financially, and if you have Amazon Prime, you can sub for free with Twitch Prime. If you don't use it on us, please, we encourage you to use it on someone. !donate command in the chat will give you resources to the Patient Advocate Foundation, which is a group devoted to helping people navigate the labyrinthine complexities of the American healthcare system, including copay assistance, petition assistance, etc. They're a really great organization. They're very highly rated on Charity Navigator. Charity Navigator in terms of financial transparency, etc. We try to review charities like that, and in this case, like I said, we've had an ethos of trying to help groups that have been affected by COVID. Kind of a good one right there. Of yeah, they can help you with that. So go ahead and enter the !GOAT giveaway in chat to win a shirt. And before we go, I will read Chelsea's poem. Huh?
Hold on, Galway. Do we want to keep the? It's still oscillating images of the Moontree City artwork on stream.
I just took it down.
Oh, okay.
I was just waiting until we were out, and you'll probably see it for another 15 seconds, or if you're Elise, another 30. I do not understand why your stream has so much more stream delay than everyone else.
I think it was honestly like just that one time that I was
Okay.
just like radically behind.
Which was ironic because it was the time when everyone was watching the trailer, and you're like still bouncing. I'm like, I think we're moving. Okay. And before we get started, I will read Chelsea's poem. So much fascinating info from discussions and dreams. This magical tree and time shift are so much more than they seem. But the most important thing, even more crucial than all that, Mr. Jimbal's the best Tressum, now wears a dapper bowler hat. Looking forward to many more dancing animals from the hologram button zoo. Much love to your crew. I can see and hear you. Thank you so much for that, Chelsea. And yes, everyone should look at Heather's fabulous glasses. So before we go into recap and have everyone go through what happened last time, we will start introductions. I'll lead that off. Like I mentioned, I'm Galway. My pronouns are he, him, his. And I am serving as the DM tonight. And I am going to start by passing it to Elise.
Hello. My name is Elise. My pronouns are she, her, hers.
Oh, professional. Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Me.
Open the
Didn't-
cover.
no, you didn't. Okay.
Yeah, no, I like do Zoom events as my job. And so it's like, hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. My name is Elise, she, her, hers. But I play Minnow, human rogue. She, her, hers as well for Minnow. We're going to be extra weird and fancy and pass it diagonal and down and over all the way to Rachel.
I'm Rachel, she, her, hers, and I play the Fearbolg monk Nero, he, him, his. And I'm going to pass it unfancily to Sam.
Nice. I am Sam, he, him, his, and I play Dent, the Warforged, who is awfully charming. And he also goes by he, him, his. And I'm going to point to my llama, which coincidentally is the same direction that I have to point in Discord to get over to Heather.
All right. You got the easy one. I'm Heather, she, her, hers. I am playing Ressa, who is Dwarven cleric of Bion. And I forgot what else to say, so I think I have to point this direction. Or maybe it's this direction, all the way across diagonally to Chris.
Go
Nope, that way.
scarecrow on me. It's fine. Hi, I'm Chris. Pronouns she, her, hers. I play a tabaxi fighter, Catch. His pronouns are he, him, his. And we are about to get like a fashion show going on tonight. I'm super excited.
Did we are? So what happened last time that has led us to a fashion show? And
Oh,
a
that I
Cyberpunk
don't
city?
remember.
We need to not be discovered.
I was started going through my notes to find like, oh, I flipped back one page and then I was like, oh, I must have taken 2 pages, 5 pages of notes because last time we got a lot of information.
I was not a great note taker.
I didn't take notes at all last time. I've really fallen down.
Well, don't worry. I literally have 5 pages. Okay, let's go. We've got Asana has been here for 3 years. Is that really? We just found that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
like
because we
a lot
I guess,
happened
like,
last
yeah.
time.
A lot happened last time. Okay. But Berdier said she had been missing for 3 days. We slept and ate, and then we found out that Asana is an artist. She has drawings on the wall that we think are hers. Ressa dreamt of a forge. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I dreamt that I was forging the crystal material and using the melting of iron to figure out the exact right melting temperature. And I succeeded. So now in my dream, I knew how to control the forging of the crystal. I forged a flawless ring.
Yes, and then I think I was the next one in the dream
dream?
order. What?
I think Heather froze, unless she's just
Heather's-
making that face
Either
forever.
that-
Heather is
Heather's
spinning circle
frozen
for
on
me.
a really cool face.
I love that face with those
Oh.
glasses. It's amazing. I need to say
Yes.
that.
Okay.
Oh, no, look at that.
Oh, wait, I should look on Twitch.
It's terrible.
It's fabulous.
Amazing.
It
Somebody-
genuinely
we
looks
need,
like it
like-
caught you mid sneeze.
Screen cap that and just like make it. Can we make it an emote? No, would that be too much, Heather? You can tell us
No,
that would
go
be too
ahead.
much.
I don't care.
All right, well, time for a new emote.
I was just wondering what was going on because I finished and then I was like, and nobody spoke up.
And everyone was just like, oh.
Wow, what a profound dream Ressa had. Minnow was the next one in the dreams order. So she dreamt of being at home with Arden and her family and friends, all safe. But she was like sitting up on the roof and like kind of obsessing over like, what didn't I see? What haven't I like figured out yet? I should have checked for this. Then she had 2 lockets, or lockets plural. It was not actually specified that it was 2, but there were lockets plural, I think. Identical in every way except the runes inscribed on them. Who did this? What does it mean? And in her dream, she saw Nero returning to Amberheart from the forest, I think, and Ressa's forge lights still on at night. So, like, kind of clocking things that seem to be patterns with other people's dreams too, which we will get to. And then Ketch was the next dream.
Oh.
I have
didn't
notes
write
on your
mine
dream if
down?
you. I did. Do you want me to tell? I just figured
I've
you
got
might want to
yours, at least
recount your
part of
I
it.
dream.
remember, like, okay, so I did take some notes, but they are so abbreviated. Let's see, in my dream, I was kind of like at my desk or at a desk, and Pickles came in, and he was much older. And he asked if I was still transcribing recipes, and apparently I had cast a spell that made a book on my shelf look like it was recipes when in fact it's actually something else. Don't know what that is. But I had a fighter who has no magical abilities has gained a magical ability to cast the spell to make something look like it's something that it's not. And something I have the words too much knowledge, but I don't remember how it was in the sentence.
Too much knowledge and secrets for the Marauders.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got you were something about that letter. You found so many books with codes. And
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely have the sense written down of like that the work that you're doing is kind of like almost like spy master, like a hub of
Mhm.
information where like you're gathering and distributing key information
Right.
to key players. Yeah,
Yeah, I
in this
kind of
dream.
got
Yeah,
that feel too, but I was trying to like absorb what Galway was saying, and I failed at like I wrote like every other word.
Yeah, my sense of it was that like you were like, man, you were kind of slightly envious of Pickles, who like had your life prior to the Marauders, whereas you are kind of like head honcho, disseminating information and stuff.
No longer out doing the things. I'm instead like writing and transcribing and secretly sending messages, maybe? I don't know.
And Pickles is taller than you.
Little
A
jerk.
whole head.
Mm-hmm.
Little jerk.
Insane. I was next in the dream-ish.
I also totally forgot to invite Craig.
Oh. Well, we've just been recapping, so that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you for remembering.
Now
though.
recording.
Craig.
Hey,
Hi,
Craig,
Craig.
What's
Hi,
up, Craig?
you're late.
Didn't you get the
Damn you,
invite?
Craig.
Come on, man.
Try not to botch it, Craig.
So yeah, my dream, I was visited by a scarred elven man who had a sling, who said that the North was hell, but I held with it. And a lot of my troop that I was with didn't come back. I think an important thing to note is that all of the other dreams seem to have taken place in the future. Mine seems to have taken place in the past. Um, uh, bu- bu- I was also told that the members who did come back came back because of me. I was a member of some large squad, not just another troop, but a member. Um, and yeah, and then just some more dialogue based on wherever this place was, somewhere
I
north.
have down that that man said that they're thinking about abandoning the entire island. It
Right,
wasn't
they want to
specified
abandon the
what
whole island.
that was.
Important thing to note, Galway, am I allowed to slightly recap something that happened in the one shot?
Sure. No. Slight spoilers for Tear the Balance.
Wait, was that a no?
Oh, yeah.
no,
Go
there's
ahead.
a
I
no.
was just saying, note that there are slight
put out
spoilers in what is
Oh,
about to
you
be said
said
for
notes,
Tear the
not no.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
sorry. Yeah, no, that's totally
Um,
fine. No. Spoilers for Tear the
No.
Balance.
Yeah, so in Tear the Balance, we my small group of archaeologist adventurers, makeshift adventurers, some of them, we stumbled into some ruins that ostensibly contained a whole bunch of very much Dent-like suits of armor. Some, or actually all of them, had the same kind of handprint that accompanies Dent's armor when it's like glowing and stuff. And so it's possible that at this particular ruin, this might have been where this dream took place. Could have also been someplace similar, but who knows? And then next was Nero.
I didn't take notes, but
Elise did.
it's true.
So did Sam.
I have
So you guys
little-
could fill in the gaps of I remember being in my home forest, and the little
Veggie
pygmies.
pygmies.
Yeah, I said pygmy veggies, veggie pygmies, were there, and that's about all I remember.
They told you about a stone that was taken. They
Mhm,
brought
and
you
you can-
papers.
Yes.
that kind of
Confirmed.
confirmed your fears.
Okay,
And
and this
then
was the stone that I had found out was taken before, and that was why everything like burned down and
This all- yeah,
shit like that.
This all
earlier,
seemed
yeah.
to link up with the conversation you had with the like veggie pygmies that you met at Lachlan's of like, yeah, we all used to guard a stone and blah blah blah, and like your people were moss giants, and etc. And then it was like, oh, okay, that was the stone.
And then that's when you at the end of it, you headed back to Amberheart, which I connected to Minnow seeing Nero coming back to Amberheart, which I just thought was interesting. The idea that like these visions possibly were from like a similar time period, at least some of them.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be. It didn't seem to be like different futures. It all seemed to be like maybe even the same moment in the future, except
Yeah.
for mine.
Yeah, at least it's very possible. Yeah, we still don't. It could all. Yeah, who knows? But okay, then we woke up, and we got a lot of information from Asana.
We don't
Like-
probably need to review all of it because I'm not sure it's possible to do that in a more condensed way than like the 2 hours of the stream that it was.
Yeah.
Let's see some key things. She was compelled to Moontree. She did go through the water, right? She walked into the water.
Then got swallowed by a large sea creature, aquatic
Right.
creature.
And was kind of like, so like had the same kind of like religious almost fervor that we saw Margit have of like, we're gonna worship this god thing and like I'm so happy and like just euphoric kind of fervor. And then she, unlike the others, seemed to kind of break out of that. Perhaps there were the orbs over the creature's head. One of them froze and told her to run. I think it was the blue one.
The blue orb is potentially good. We know that the green orb is bad because it wanted Dellen dead. And then we
Yeah.
don't know about the red orb.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, and then she got here. Magic being easier is due to the trees. There are 6 trees in total. 6. Okay. The other 5, yeah. So 6 total.
The people here don't know about the cataclysm.
Right.
I have that in the notes.
Yes. But their time is called like AB, which is like after the blooming of the trees or something like that.
After blossoming.
And they're like in year like 2300 of that era. So either this is pre-cataclysm and we actually went back in time to, but you know, I have reasons why I don't necessarily think that's true, but I guess we'll find out. And then, or we're like over 2300 years in the future. Maybe. I don't know. Corpse run things here. There are no nations. The 8 pillars have transformed or are now corporations rather than nations. We asked if the blight is still a thing. Mana, she responded that there are places where mana and tech are kind of weak or behave weird. We think maybe Moontree Rock is the tree. I don't know if that's true or not, but we think that's possible. And then we also think that Bion has become the Church of Bin. And we've learned about these creatures called multi-mana, beings that are loved by the trees, generate mana themselves, and are like almost godlike themselves. Then let's see. Minnow shows the gun. Asana freaked out.
Oh, yeah.
We luckily
Minnow pulls a gun at brunch.
Through some good luck rolls, anybody finding out where we were. We compared notes on the dreams. Minnow examined the locket again. The runes are still the only difference. We saw the broker. Sold a bunch of stuff for new type of money. So we transformed our old weapons and gold into credits. Asana says we're going to need data ports or get like biometric scans or like, you know, chips that we can scan with biometrics. And that there's a person who calls himself the Wise Man, who's the leader of I have the word cult crossed out group that Asana belongs to. That's what I got.
And then you went.
There are 2 brothers.
There are 2 brothers, possibly husbands. We don't know.
Yeah.
And they're halflings.
And there was also the broker gave
Is a
Nero
servant.
A small light box that if you press the button on it, it generates a random animal. Chad, I'm working on a custom command for that, but I have to code it basically. So it's going to be a wall incoming. Feel free to generate your favorite random animals and suggest those as being the animals coming out of the light boxes, Nero.
Random animal generator.
Oh, I have looked at everything that is going to have shown up on that page. But yeah, feel free to manually do those to play along at home. But yeah, so you then got to the sort of shopping district that you actually hid out in or blended into when you first arrived. You saw Mr. Jimbles again, the Tressum that you encountered your first night here. You got some clothes sort of designed. Many of these things operated on, not even in above the table, just not in game. operate on almost a 3D printing and fabrication model. So some of them needed to be sort of made. You customized them, designed them, had to spend a little bit of time with that. One of the things that you all got was a very small bowler hat. Nero purchased a very small bowler hat for Mr. Jimbles, who was very pleased with their bowler hat, and seemed to wear it quite jauntily. And now, as we get back into things, as we're sort of here, Asana will sort of look around. All of your purchases are finalizing fabrication. You all are sort of changing, getting them on. And as you stand and look at them, there is something about otherness of the clothes that you're wearing. Like, again, it's just a little bit further from where you were before you fled from the cave and walked out into this world of magic and lights and giant glass and steel towers and all of the strangeness of it. And the rain continues coming down, as it has continually since you've been in Moontree City. And you'll see Asana, like, for just a second, sort of turn and look, you would imagine pensively, certainly tensely, as a large vehicle cuts through the sky. And then it rapidly moves out of sight, and she seems to relax a little bit. Her shoulders drop back down. You can kind of hear, okay. I know we have a couple more potential stops. One is a doctor. He could handle any augments that anyone is interested in. I know him quite well. Another is a mech shop. I don't know them as well, but someone like them is probably our best choice to have our friend here be a little bit less conspicuous, pointing at Dent. But perhaps before that,
talking about Mr. Jimbles.
You see Mr. Jimbles readjust the bowler hat slightly.
How dare.
Cute.
But perhaps before this, we should get some food. I wanted to check how you all are feeling. The first day usually isn't great for energy levels.
Oh, that's right. We all still have a point of exhaustion, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Get that back.
We had
Long
two,
rest.
so we've recovered
rested and got
one.
one
And the
taken
next
away.
time we rest, we'll recover the other.
After tonight, you should take care of that last point of exhaustion.
Well, I think food is probably a good idea. I know I'm very tired.
Ah, good. And then she's going to sort of have you follow her over to one of these carts that you'd sort of seen where, like, the pillars will rise out of the ground. And she'll show you how to, like, sort of swipe your cred sticks over a different reader. Like, you'd previously seen people put their hands on it, and then there's sort of a little slot on the side where you can swipe that. And she'll, like, make sort of, say, like, minnow. She's going to have you swipe, and you'll get sort of a sandwich. She tapped out what food to get. But then she's going to wave and sort of move the group and have one of you buy it for two people. And then she's going to order using a biometric scan, and then she's going to move you somewhere else, sort of to the other end of the plaza to get another one. And then as you all sit down, actually in that same alcove, that same sort of shrubbery alcove that shielded you a little bit, and sort of unwrap your food, she'll explain, everything you do here leaves a record. Think of it like notes. Notes that people with the right kinds of access can see instantly. Normally, everything you do ties back to an ident chip. The things are put in children as soon as they're born. An indelible record of everything you've ever done that involves interacting with the net or any government or corp terminals. Basically all the terminals. So it's good if you're not going to do an ident chip transaction to scatter them out a little bit. And yeah,
It's terrifying.
it is difficult to adjust to, yes.
It's a lot of power for people that we don't know and don't apparently trust that are trying to hunt us down. I'm assuming that's who has access to that type of information.
Yes, at least some of them. Some of it is... Generally, it is not people looking at it. There are... How many people have just bought food in just this plaza, let alone all of Moontree City, let alone every item that has been purchased in Moontree City. But everything is tied to an ident chip. It is very difficult to remove them, and painful, and possibly lethal. This means that you can hide who you are. You can dupe a chip, have a second one, but that has its own dangers. The chips interfere with each other. If you do it repeatedly over a period of time, someone will identify that there's a specific pattern of someone trying to pretend to be someone else. That is dangerous. Those people bypassing or duping is a crime everywhere, and can be used to steal from corpse, which is much, much worse than a crime in the opinion of the corpse. They will take care of people who do those kinds of things. The only advantage that we have is that, frankly, most of the time, people who are duping are kids looking to buy drugs and not have their parents find out about it. So it's not like they check every incidence of this coming up. You have to do it a lot, or be doing things like buying weapons and armor, then they will have more questions. But that is our advantage. And she's going to point at all of you and herself. We never had ident chips. We do not exist in their system. There is no record of us. We can ghost. We can assume any identity that we wish, and there is no one the wiser. Yes, biometrics, fingerprints, blood, etc. Those can identify us over time, but if you're careful not to leave much or any behind, it still does not help them. And even if they have my fingerprints, so what? What does it go to? Nothing else. The most they could do is tie multiple incidents back to the same individual, but not know who that individual is. That is why I suggested a data port to you all. It allows you to run virtual identity profiles. I have been, in the time that we have been out shopping, 6 different people. It is easiest. It keeps me hidden. It works very well. But there are also ways, and you still have advantages, even if you do not wish a data port. I apologize. I forget that it seemed very strange to me when I got here. It's become very normal to me.
Do other mechs, as you call them, us, do they have data ports?
Yes and no, and to be perfectly clear, I do not think you are a mech. You are... I'm just gonna sort of pause and think, and she sort of like takes a bite of her sandwich, and just sort of like crunches on it. She goes, if I draw a mech, it is like drawing a building. They can be beautiful, they can be functional, they can be striking. If I were to draw you, I think it would be like drawing a bird, or a fish, or a person. You do not strike me as a thing. So, whatever you are, it is not what they are. Mechs have registrations. They also have data ports, but their data ports are different from mine or anyone here's would be, because those ports are designed to connect to tissue, flesh. They are metal.
So he couldn't have a data port that would mimic as a person.
But he also would not need to. He could have infinitely more variable identities, because those mech codes are much easier to fake. In fact, that is why I would recommend. I tried to think about this some while we were getting you clothing. The best choice for him would be to go to a mech shop. They're used to trying to hide contraband, etc. As much as he might not be the same, the lie should match what people see him as.
I mean, if it helps me stay under the radar any easier.
Yeah, it's a bit overwhelming, but if you're recommending it, I think we just have to trust you.
Is there a way to have this data port without actually having anything installed inside of me? I generally try not to change things about myself like that if I can help it. I'll do what I need to do to adapt, but I would feel more comfortable.
As I said, when it comes to matters of identity and identships, we could get you other ways of being able to pass through the system more easily. If a data port would not be required, it would be an external device. It is no surgery, perhaps a little bit riskier because the signal is more obviously not coming from something located in your spine. So if someone...
What if I wore a really nice choker with the data port on the back?
It could help, but let me put it this way. An external drive with a chip in it will help you as long as it's circumstances like this. It should leave you just as hidden as anyone else, and nothing has been surgically inserted in you. This is a benefit. If security questions you, that will much more rapidly be apparent that you are using something and that you do not have an actual chip. This is a situation that I would recommend avoiding strenuously.
If security questions us, aren't we? There's a million ways that we're fucked if that happens, right? Like, what about the fact
That's
that
fair.
how we speak seems to be so different from how people speak here?
Plus, lying isn't really my strong suit.
That's true.
That is fair. I think, yes, for the best is just to avoid the security forces generally, especially those of Drakon, who are probably going to know who you are anyway, up until such time as we are attempting to attack Drakon.
Are the other corps besides Drakon less like that? Or are they all like that?
In what sense?
They all did.
Well, yeah, but specifically Dick's looking for us.
Always.
So far as I know, Drakon is the only corp that has been working so extensively on the technologies of time travel. And besides this, it is their research that makes you so valuable as an energy source. Regardless of if others are researching this, it is Drakon's particular method that would make you so useful to them. So,
Why do you stay in Drakon's territory then? Because you're useful to them that way too.
because there are people here who have helped me, and because I have spent the years that I am here developing skills. The ability to ghost is a rare thing here. Everyone has a chip. Most people are not willing to risk a coin flip of death, and even if they pass that, the chances of long-term impairment, being physically changed, mentally changed, the chip is located near your brain. To remove it is not a simple thing. I can do good here. And besides that, I want to go home. I want to see my family. The only two things that I can think of that can send me home are either, as we said earlier today. I said yesterday. I'm like, nope. Yesterday was a gunfight and running away on motorcycles. As we said, maybe somewhere here someday I will walk through a doorway and be home. And besides that, if I'm going to get home by stealing Drakon technology, I need to be by Drakon technology.
It's a dangerous existence. Well.
And she'll sort of look around actually at each of you. She's like, but I think that this will help you fit in. And yeah, why doesn't everybody describe how you have cyberpunked your outfit?
Not all at once.
Pulling mine up.
I have mine up. I can go first. Minnow will have her outer layer, because we learned that most people in Moontree have like a poncho or a raincoat because it's constantly raining. So her outer layer is going to be like a long, heavy, asymmetrical coat that has a tall asymmetrical collar. I actually have this description with some references, so I'll put it in the Moontree chat for y'all, so players can like look at the reference if you're curious. I don't know if you care, but if you do, feel free to play along. It's in the Moontree aisle chat on Discord. So it has like a like the asymmetrical collar. The left side kind of comes up covers her neck all the way up past to like the first inch of her chin or so, but can be folded down to pin down to her coat and kind of follow the line of the right lapel so that it's a little more normal looking, I guess, when she doesn't want necessarily to have like full protection or coverage. And the collar also comes up high in the back, so it kind of covers her neck and can fold up into a hood if it's raining really hard or if she wants just a protection from the rain. And then the coat kind of comes down. It's baggy enough because she has armor on underneath. Surprise, Minnow's paranoid. She wants to have armor. That's something we'll have to cover, I think. But it's a little bit baggy, but it can be cinched. So there are kind of like belts and straps, so you can cinch and tighten. And it's mostly fastened with like kind of metal clasps. And then at her waist, and then down at her hips, so past her waist, it opens up into kind of four long, almost like a dress, but they're divided in the front and the back, longer in the back. So if you were looking at it from the back, it would almost, with the high collar and the longer, almost look like a cape. But it's made to be very movable, so it doesn't hinder her movement. And those are also kind of keeping with the asymmetrical vibe of like they come at different lengths. They end at different lengths to kind of keep this kind of funky, it doesn't look right feel. And that coat, it's mostly black, has some deep jewel tone purples, and then occasionally you might catch a flash of emerald green. It kind of hidden away in different areas, like under the collar and things like that. And then underneath that, she's wearing just a plain like black like turtleneck, essentially, with armor over it, because she's kind of, I think she would look for the lightest and thinnest profile armor that she could find and afford. So that's kind of up to Galway. We'll have to decide if that's something that she can get her hands on.
It would be something you could get your hands on. It's good to describe it now for the going forward. That would need to be a separate stop and a much more black market stop.
Okay, yeah. So she would.
You're at the Gap. Not,
yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't necessarily think she can get the armor here, but that would be.
But it works even with your like leather armor. Right now.
Exactly. Yes,
and so I was gonna make, because it's not the Gap, you have to go to the Gape, and I was just like, terrible.
And then high on her waist so that it can be hidden by her coat is utility belt that will definitely have guns on it at some point. That can be kind of hidden under the kind of like at the, the dress-like shape to the coat. And then for her pants, kind of these loose-fitting pants that kind of taper into mid-calf rain boots. And they have, just typical cyberpunk, lots of nice straps and stuff on the boots. Metal details are the same purple as the coat, and then the soles of the boots are the emerald green. So
I love it.
That's
kick ass. Also, you
um,
used asymmetry at least 3 times in the description, which
Yeah.
made it very cyberpunk.
yeah, I just had to make it clear where the asymmetry was happening. So,
Awesome.
and then there was a little piece of it that that Ketch was going to help with.
That now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I figure.
Well, you have the locket, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Did you describe your locket?
So the locket is the one that Minnow stole a long time ago, then had it stolen from her. And there was all that panic about. And so it's the same one that has the runes etched on it and everything. I don't know that we ever actually described what this locket looks
No,
like.
we've been yada-yadaing that pretty damn hard for over half a year
describe
now.
what the locket looks like?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I think so. The locket is kind of it's shaped. So it's kind of I don't know what this shape is called, but it has rectangular sides, and then the top is triangular, and the bottom is triangular. Does that make sense? So
sort of lozenge shaped almost. Yeah.
Yeah. So not a diamond because it isn't pointy on the sides.
It's a hexagon.
Yeah, just long sides.
Yeah.
Would that be hex? Yeah, that would be a hexagon. Thank you. Yeah, it's a hexagon, just not a.
Not a symmetrical one.
I said hexagon, but was muted, so.
Thank you. It's a hexagon. Surprise. And it's gold. It has some inlaid details on the front. It does open, and it's on it's fairly old. It has initials on it that are not hers, because as I said, it is stolen. And also these runes carved onto the back. So with and there's just little kind of curving details on the peak and the bottom peak of the hexagon.
I just remembered that Dent still has a head.
Yeah, you do.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's gonna get.
We forgot about that.
Not as in the top of his suit of armor, as in a decapitated head in a bag.
Yes.
That I don't know about.
Yeah.
Well, Nero doesn't know about it.
Everybody's going to know about it in a day or two.
Mhm.
So Ketch will kind of dig in his pocket, and he'll pull out a piece of paper. He's going to open it up and then realize that that's not the right paper, so he sticks it back in and he grabs from the other pocket, and he opens it up and he looks at it and he's like, okay, this is it. So then he walks over to Minnow and he looks down at it and he says, I'm not known renownedly for my art, but I think this might do it. And then I'll hand you this square piece of parchment that is slightly crinkly. It's got a worn look, but it's not old. And then when you open it and you look at it, you will see this charcoal ink drawing of Arden. It's a bust, Arden's bust. And I drew this from the best of my memory of him. So I hope that I've actually come through on this for you. But on this square piece of paper is Arden's bust in a kind of a circle, an oval actual ink filigree frame. So it's very it's very intricate, almost like he's set in this oval, and he just hands it to you with all the pride that he can muster, knowing that he does not believe that this is world famous art.
Minnow will take it and kind of I assume it's small enough that I can kind of fold up and put in the locket. Yeah, Minna will take it and just like look at it and get like really teary eyed and be like, and fold it up and put it in the locket and then just like give Catch a hug and be like, it's perfect. It means everything to me.
My tail will come up and also pat you as I'm
Aw.
patting you.
Thank you so much. And she puts it in the locket and puts the locket under the coat, even under the layer, so that it's fully hidden again. No one can see it, and just kind of stays kind of teary eyed in the back corner. Yeah. So there you go. That's Minno's new outfit.
Awesome.
Thanks, Chris.
Colorful. Oh.
Yes.
Okay, Catch will go.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just handed off a piece of art, so yeah.
So I will start with Catch's actual clothes before getting to like the outerwear. Catch, he found, being a fighter, he needs to be able to move, and so he's been thinking about what kind of stuff he can wear. First off, I have a tail and I need to work all this around, but thankfully, I found this shop that seemed to like kind of know what they're doing when it comes to giant cat folk. So I found these baggy cargo style pants that, if you look at my butt, you'll see that there's a hole that's sewn, and it's perfect hole for my tail to come out. It has breath and like air, like it's not pinched off and it's not being twisted or anything. So I've got that with these cargo style pants. The pants are like a gunmetal color, and they tuck into these Magitech combat style boots that Catch has never really been able to wear shoes because Tabaxis really can't. But these Magitech boots, they like have formed their way around his feet. So this is kind of a new sensation for him. So you may see him kind of, while he's standing, kind of like lift one foot up and then put it down, and then lift another foot up and kind of shake a foot out. And then, so those are his pants and his boots. And then his top it's kind of like, think of a muscle shirt. So sleeveless, but it, comes up kind of like, a shirt collar, but it's a muscle shirt tunic hybrid. So you've got this muscle shirt that comes down. And then once you get to his waist, right above, like, I don't know, do Tabaxis belly buttons like we do? But I'm gonna go with mine. So like, if you go like by your belly button, it's gonna be like this U shape, and it's gonna come down to split the tunic to where it goes down about mid calf to him, but the front, so like from his crotch area down, is open, so his legs move freely. And then in the back, it's also split, so his tail has clearance, because that little bugger likes to do its own thing and it needs to have free reign. The shirt is strapped down with a weapon belt that holds the tunic in place right at his waist, and it keeps it nice and secure. It is a silver color, so it looks pretty sleek with his gunmetal pants and his black Magitech boots. And then his cloak. His cloak is one that also had to be something kind of free for his tail. So this cloak, it kind of like comes around him, so it buttons in the front, but the buttons start about where like the slit in the tunic start. So it doesn't button all the way down. It starts buttoning about his waist and then buttons up, and then it comes up about mid chest. And then he's got these flaps that, when they're closed, they crisscross over, so they're kind of like that. And his hood flips straight back, and so it's almost open like this giant like lapel until he wants to pull it up. And then when he pulls it up, it comes up and it has snaps that snap down at like his shoulders and then kind of up at the top, so it's almost like a square style hood. And then in the back, about his lumbar region, is a slit that opens up to open up the back of his cloak to give his tail free reign. But then up in like the thoracic region of the cloak, there's also this opening for kind of like, he's also wearing part of the weapons belt kind of comes up, and it's It's not suspenders. Don't call it suspenders. But it kind of comes up in this little like crisscross to where he's able to hold his short swords in the back of the cloak so he can, grab them if needed, very quickly. But everything is open. And the cloak is a midnight black. So as long as his head is covered and his tail is tucked in, because remember, he's like a snow leopard, he's black and white. As long as all of that is covered, and it's dark, it kind of adds almost like a camouflage. And then his tail has this, okay, so, like when you would wear like a bracer on your forearm? Think of that, only a little bigger. So, but it covers like the middle part of his tail. So the end of the tail can still flap around and do whatever. And he's free up where the tail, hits my butt or right up above my butt. So I don't sit on it, but it covers like that middle part. And then, so the bracer has a hook that will then hook to a strap that's on his leg. So he no longer ties his tail, but it has this nice little clasp that hooks onto his thigh when it gets unruly. And that's Ketch's outfit.
I love that you have a compression sleeve restraint system for your tail now.
Awesome.
I'll go because mine's real short. So Galway, I believe, is going to have most of the heavy lifting when it comes to what is probably about to happen to Dent. That's not ominous at all. But Galway did mention that basically what all of us are getting as far as our cloaks are basically just ponchos. So I'd like to posit that Dent struck the gold mine when it came to ponchos. He found a very, very it fits him, so it's very large. A large poncho that is just brilliant gold, and it's heavily embroidered, and the embroidered pattern is waves, not too much unlike his kind of Damascus steel-like armor. But if you look closely, you can see little fish patterned in those waves.
Wow.
I love it.
And that's about everything as far as Dent's wardrobe is concerned at the moment before we go to the mech shop. But yeah.
Cool. All right, I'll go. Ressa is all about the bling, except for her cloak, because her cloak is just going to be black, very plain, cover her up. But underneath, she's going to have also black pants, kind of fit on the hip, but then down the leg, they'll be loose enough so that there are some pockets that can go down the leg. And she will have worked her metal craft so that there are decorative areas that kind of camouflage the pockets and serve to hold them closed at the same time. So, and while it looks decorative, it's actually a little bit functional in terms of armor. And the pants will tuck into heavy boots that, pretty much just the style that people are wearing. She doesn't want to stick out too much. So black boots probably. For her top, she's wearing a sleeveless, it's kind of like a tunic, has a collar that sits flat up at her neck, and it's royal purple, or jewel tone purple, and it buttons down the front. And again, she's done the metalworking to do the clasps to hold it closed, so that it looks decorative, but is actually functional. And she will have, and I don't know how she would have done this, but Galway, you said this was good, that she could work it so that there was some metal kind of woven into the fiber, so that like using her chainmail to create something that looks very decorative, but is actually functional as well. Uh, and then over that, she'll have like a shrug that has a high collar on it. And again, and this will be like ridiculously decorative functional. High collar that'll clasp in the front, and then the shoulders will be, I mean, they're shaped kind of like pauldrons, you know, and that'll cover, you know, it's all decked out so that between the collar and the shoulders, it fits in with what's going down, you know, on the front. And then, you know, the neck protection, like very high. And then, let's see. Oh, and the shrug is long sleeved. And because she's always worn about 1.5 billion bracelets that have functioned as her bracers. And so the sleeves are made so that she can have them over her bracers or over her bracelets or under them, depending on the situation. So that if the sleeves are over, it will kind of muffle the jingling some and, you know, hide them. But if she wants to be absolutely out of control, bejeweled or bedazzled or whatever, she could put them on top and just, yeah. So it's decorative yet functional because she also did not want to go without armor. But then the cloak is the practical part, which hides it all, and will also have some pockets in it that will be closable, but they're not going to be decorated or anything like that. Couple pockets on the outside, couple pockets on the inside. And again, the cloak will be big enough so that backpack can fit under it. Her warhammer might be a little bulky, but she might try it in a pinch. So that's
Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, I figured given that you're, you know, have gone from fantasy to cyberpunk, you might as well get the chance to describe how you now look like you are in cyberpunk. We can get Rachel's / Nero's outfit. I have inadvertently summoned Rachel.
You did. Speak and you shall receive.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds very good. And yeah, you essentially were able to both design that Ressa by like seeing their design, we would note as design software, but sort of like looking at it and tweaking some of those things. And then you can begin adding on those elements with your metalcraft skills. And yeah, Rachel, would you like to describe what Nero is now wearing?
There's not that much description. Nero would pretty much try and get clothing to as similar as his monk clothing. You know, colors similar and cut, like whatever he can still to fit in. Like he wouldn't do anything to stand out, but whatever it could be to be kind of loose fitting and some sashes and easy to bendable shoes.
Yeah, you actually, I was gonna say you're able to find some nice stuff, especially with the sashes for like fabric essentially weaving on demand. So it has the sort of symbols of your monastery worked into it, one in embroidery, one in sort of color patterning. Yeah.
Yeah, and then similar like cloak, nothing ostentatious, pretty much like fairly low key, understated, and in the colors of the monastery if he can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nero's not very exciting when it comes to fashion.
No, but at the same time, you also feel very comfortable in them. You see some of the things that are done, say, with the cuts of the clothing are almost more comfortable than the clothes that you've had. The materials are often a bit lighter weight, so you feel sort of more mobile in them. And they still very much feel like you are home. All right. Awesome. So as you're sort of eating and with this, like Hassan, like, yes, I think you all will much more easily avoid attention just from someone seeing you, so this is good. What would we like to do next? I certainly think we can not... We can leave the discussion of data ports, etc. for another day, perhaps when you are feeling more energetic. I know minor surgery isn't necessarily on everyone's docket right now. We could go to the mech shop that I know of, if you wish to, Dent. We could also head back if people merely wish to rest more.
I feel like
Choking.
Oh,
Sorry.
Don't die.
just looking around, I like my poncho, but I still feel like everyone else is a lot more less noticeable than me, perhaps. So maybe we should go.
okay. And with this, Asana will you'll walk over, get in the car. You'll drive, not very far. It's a little bit more upscale, say, than the areas you've been. You've been in sort of fine areas. It's not that it's been dangerous or anything, but you've actually moved slightly up market, say. And like, I would say that Minnow, especially with her background of looking for places to rob, and sort of being very aware of, oh, what district of the town am I in? How much money do these people have? It's like, you're not 100% on the fashion, you're not 100% on the objects, etc. But you're like, this feels nicer. There is not the sort of run-downness of the alleys. Those still look nice. You start seeing, sort of topiary / bush emplacements outside, and in your experience, anytime you start seeing miniature plant life, people have goddamn money, because why else would they have tiny plants? With terror in my heart, I will also register there are plants here for Nero. And so you'll sort of pull.
Can I just be like, Nero, can you ask that plant how it stays so small? It looks like a tree, but it's this big.
I can only do it once a day. Do you
This
want
feels
me
pretty
to?
important. I don't know. Okay, your call. Honestly, I get why you might want to save that for like a situation where we need the grass to tell us whether or not a creature has emerged and is
Or
rampaging on
maybe
an
the
island.
big tree.
So
That's,
where?
yeah.
Well, I don't know
But,
if we're getting
like,
there today. Where
we
are
going to
we
the big tree
currently?
today?
And what time is it?
You're currently in District 3, which is, I think, you're on the map right now? Yeah.
Big one. Yeah.
So you're in sort of this larger district, and you are a bit more towards the northeast side of it. So this is about as close to the tree as you've gotten. You also know from the description that Asana was like, yeah, like Drakon headquarters is in the Moontree district, etc. So she's probably not super, and she even actually might have said to you, you all should see the tree. Let's have you be ready. We're still kind of getting you to fit in.
And what time is it?
It is probably about 1 in the afternoon. You all slept in a little bit. You had a long conversation with sort of breakfast into brunch. Shopping took you a couple of hours. You just ate. So yeah, say like 1:30.
I mean, my plans for the rest of the day are get Dent's, whatever Dent needs figured out, and then sleep, eat.
That sounds like a great idea.
Because Elise totally knows that I was paying very close attention to where this tiny tree was.
Oh, it's like manicured gardens in the shopping district for rich people.
It's basically like the little trees that you see like out front of hotels, like ritzy ass hotels in, our reality. That's sort of what you're getting. Like,
can one of them be extra tiny though? That I was specifically like.
Okay, so here's what we'll say.
One.
Here's what we'll say. You're pulling up and like Asana's gonna pull the car into she's to a halt off to the side, sort of in one of these structures, and lead you all along the street for a little bit of walking. And basically the building before the one that she's pointing to, like taking you to, has little like bonsai topiary, so that they go like smaller to bigger as you get close to the door. So like Minnow's kind of watching this as you go there, and then as you're like leaving again, you're like, it's getting so. And then yes, like the last one is this little bitty bonsai.
Yeah, like Nero. I've never wanted you to talk to a tree as much as I want you to talk to this 2-inch bonsai.
Well, the good news is I can cast talk to plants, so I can talk to many of the plants, right? It's not like I just pick one plant and then I'm like, that's my buddy. So, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, because it's plants within a 30-foot area of you when you cast it get limited sentience. It was just last time you were standing in a field of grass. So it was a 30-foot radius circle of grass.
Okay, so I'm gonna position myself. Oh, sorry, yes.
No, I was just gonna say, like, the plan for this is literally like, I just need to know what this tree thinks about the world. That's it. That's all I need.
Yeah, I'm gonna position myself to be in range of that tree, but as many other cool looking plants as possible.
Okay.
And I will cast Speak to Plants.
So you see, like, again, it's sort of this sort of size gradient, so that they're building up, and it makes this sort of impressive gateway where the door goes in and then fades away to nothing. And you're going to see essentially the entire chunk that you all are on, like on that side of the door, like just go.
If Asana is nearby, I'm just going to be like, don't worry about it. Just hang tight.
And Asana has been like, why did you... did that tree... What?
Have you ever watched a cowman talk to a tree?
And not heard what the tree said back?
No.
You should see him off the grass.
Happening? And yeah, you wave it and go, hello. Yeah, I don't quite manage to have like the vocal range for this, but essentially going across the line, you just get... Hello.
Are they? Oh my god!
Until the littlest one is just this absolutely like hi,
and then they go every third one and say hello together, and it's a nice,
it's like a nice arpeggio. Yeah,
Yep,
we
yep.
should 100% like direct the get a little chorus of trees.
And they're just now all sort of like looking at you. The ones like the biggest one essentially is leaning forward slightly so it can see you down the line.
Oh, but we can't hear this.
I was almost gonna say fella, but I guess I shouldn't just assume that about you, Tree. I'm sorry. What's your
What
name?
are your pronouns?
Yeah, what's your name? Your pronouns, if you want to just go in a line for me. I'm Nero. I prefer he, him, if you don't mind.
This tree's pronouns are tree trim.
It's just gonna go.
I'm sorry. Did you just say tree trim? God damn it.
That's extreme done tonight. Good night.
Oh, there we go. Nothing I have done in the world of Tyr is going to beat that. Fuck. How do I do anything after that?
And we're on break, folks.
We're on break, so Elise is dying. I'm just like, I tried to come up with what topiaries would talk about, and now I'm just left with, hi, my pronouns are tree trim. Shit. Okay. once again going through this lovely little scale that I am not going to attempt to imitate, partially because at this point I'm just like half a second from laughing.
We'll do it for the podcast, though.
No. You're just gonna get dunno. You have asked them a question that they have just no concept of an answer for. This is the first time a cowman has wandered up and asked them what their name is.
That's fair. That's fair.
Or a pronoun.
What's a pronoun?
Oh, that's true. I should. God, just leaning into the Grassworks angle. We don't understand that. Lean out. Do you have a name or no? Don't know either. I don't think any of us have these things. Would you like to supply some for us? People normally supply us with things. They water us and give us food. They also take things away when they trim us.
What kind of things?
Principally us, parts of us.
How does that work? Is it like if I get a haircut? Do you know what hair is? So this is hair. I think it might be similar, but you're like all plant. What if they accidentally cut off a functional, vital part to you?
It hurts a little bit, but until this moment, we have not fully had the concept of a memory. Oh, they do horrible things to us.
Oh no.
Oh,
no. Do I need to leave you with a weapon to defend yourself?
Minnow is like watching Asana like very closely as Nero says these things that are just, I'm sure to Asana, absolutely just wildly out there.
So Asana is as usual when she's out wearing her full face mask with like a respirator on it so that you can't see her facial expression, but you are going to see her like entire sort of upper body be like,
She's gonna run and hide and just leave us.
then you hear like, should I leave you with a weapon? You're like, the trees are from like down at the end. The little one closest to Minnow is going to sort of rustle. I don't think we can use them. We don't really move that much. It's kind of a you walked up and suddenly we're moving. I am like getting real close to Knoodle's voice here.
Did you, now that you have thought briefly, did you want anything? Can I help you out? What's life like other than, I guess, being, having horrible things happen to you? Are there good things?
Well,
that was a lot of questions at once. I'm sorry.
One sort of, Jesus Christ. Trauma with topiaries. Now on Helpful Go Presents.
That's the name of the podcast.
Yes, no, totally. That is Andy. That is the name of this podcast episode. Whatever part of the podcast episode contains this chunk, this is Trauma with Topiaries. One of the ones in the middle, because I'm not going to be able to maintain that falsetto for very long. We'll sort of like you're like, well, there's some nice things. Like we don't have to do very much, and we get fed a lot, pretty regularly. We get nice enriched water. There's never too much wind here. I don't really have any experience though of life anywhere else, so I can't.
Would
really...
you like it? Would one of you like to come with me? I don't want to split up your family. I'm sorry if that was rude.
And there's gonna sort of be a pause, like the tiny tree at the end, like, I kind of want to see. They're gonna keep me as the smallest one. I'm the second oldest here.
Oh wow! Sometimes that happens where you're old and you just don't grow.
They keep cutting parts of me off to have that happen.
Oh. Would you like to come with me to the past?
What?
The before time.
Before what? Why did I pick the smallest tree? I just made the fucking comment about the falsetto, and then I'm like, nope, pick the small one. God damn it. I know why I did.
Now I'm gonna keep a little bonsai.
Yeah, because I wanted to facilitate giving you a tree you could pocket.
Tree.
I'm gonna fill Jebediah's pocket with soil and put the little tree in there. And it'll just be Jebediah and the little tree.
I will 100% say, when you had your clothes fabricated, that
Jebediah
pocket
has an
Special pocket.
It's bigger, and it also has like a flap that you can move off with, then has see-through fabric, so you can like have a little view window for Jebediah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
He's got his own like micro ecosystem, just like right there now.
I don't really have a conception of what you mean by the past.
Do you like lizards?
They don't generally try to eat me, so sure.
Oh my gosh, Matt just said Jebediah and the Little Tree sounds like a hipster folk punk band, and I'm really here for it.
Oh god, we've got the crew of the Black Mold. If you had enough speak with animals and plants going simultaneously, they could form a duet.
Oh yeah, it'd be great. Okay, so can I so you'd like to come with me? Let me know if I'm hurting you.
Minnow will hear this and be like, "Oh my god, please let me help. This is what I live for. I am built to steal things."
Asana's like, what are we doing? Why is this happening?
You've met Jebediah.
Dellen from beside her is just gonna go, Don't bother. This is now inevitable. There is.
What does Dellen look like?
Dellen has sort of a deep blue for his overcloak, and then the opening of it is essentially a diagonal that goes across, and that's lined with silvers. And then his cloak hood comes up and over. And similarly, I think to like minnows can also just sort of lay down as like a large lapel or collar, and then it pops up. The inside of that is also lined with silver. The outside is the same dark blue. And his clothes underneath are honestly actually pretty close to Nero's. He generally went with just stuff that was pretty loose, though he has a lot of pockets. In sort of all different orientations. Some of them are sort of up pockets, some slide in sideways, and like you saw him transfer like a bunch of scrolls and pieces of paper in, and with some of the paper and stuff, like it's almost hanging like that, or like, and he also got sort of a small bag satchel to hang underneath his cloak. But with all the scrolls, each one of them is in one pocket on its own, and it sticks out the top of the pocket just a little bit. But yeah, he's just going to look at her like, I really wouldn't bother. I have not found that at any point this is going to stop. He talked to grass, you know. So I was just like, I don't. Yeah, sure.
So I'm going to
What the
tell
hell do I have to lose? I'm never going to grow above 2 inches tall.
I know that you don't have the concept of a name right now. But now that you understand that my name is Nero, that's what I'm called by. That over there is Minnow. That's Ketch, Ressa, Dent, Dellen, Asana, Mr. Jimbles. I'm just like...
Mr. Jimbles did not follow you in the car.
Damn it.
I like how you tried to slip in a pet.
We lost Craig.
All right, listen. I have a plan for this tree, and Craig doesn't need to be here for this.
Craig doesn't need to know this.
We can take this tree, and Nero can talk to plants, and they can understand him without using the spell. So he can be like, we can set the tree down somewhere and be like, look for people with the Dracon Corp logo, right? And then we come back and we
Now recording.
Speak with animals, and then speak with plants and say like, all right, did you see anyone with the Dracon Corp logo go by?
Oh.
I think Craig's not.
No,
Craig.
I'm just saying, Jebediah is useful. Tree trim can be useful.
I thought.
Oh my God, are we named?
Tree trim?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're gonna name him. Are we gonna name him?
You're going to name this tree after its
gremlin.
You're going to name this tree after its primary trauma? Jesus.
Oh my God. Let's all just go ahead and
Can
like
we
name
call
our
it
tree name
sapling or like
Oh,
sappy?
That's nice. Sappy. We will have to.
I'm 47 years old.
Now recording.
So I do want to ask it if it has thought of a name that sounds interesting to it, or that it seems like would be cool to be called.
Oh, Jesus.
I just told him a
Chat.
whole bunch of names. So.
Sorry. Oh.
Oh no!
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Yep. Okay.
King Matt.
I feel like I could say that this session has gone entirely off the rails, except I didn't expect it to ever go anywhere else. So it's as expected.
We need to encourage this. So.
Oh yeah. Well, at least encouraged it, and so did I. I gave you topiaries. Again,
You did.
I asked myself, why are you doing this? But then I did it. So
'Cause you're an enabler.
Mm-hmm.
Nero enabler.
you're gonna see on the other, like across the street on the other sidewalk, there's a human woman walking by, and the little tree's gonna look, so that's a minnow?
Was it? I mean, I can't tell what it's referring to, right?
Yeah, it
it's
just
a
kind of
tree.
rustled at you.
Sure.
It's gonna I don't really know. It shouldn't be minnow or Ketch or Nero or Dent or
There
Asana
goes
or
Craig.
Lost Craig again.
Damn it, Craig.
Maybe one more time we try Craig and then we give it up until after break.
Well, I was gonna say we could also, we can just go until after break, and then I might just fire up a Zencaster link.
Yeah.
Screw you, Craig. It's like, stop telling me to join. I'm like, no, that is your job. Your job is to do. I'm telling you to do your job. It is not an unreasonable request. It's the one thing you do on this server.
18 seconds is such a bizarre, specific amount of time. Like 3 seconds is like within.
Now recording.
Yeah, it was
You
like,
know,
okay, great. It's a
under
count of
5,
3.
So it's normal.
18 seconds. Like,
How did you come up with that number, Craig?
I'm gonna be so sad because I'm just gonna give Andy also these links. I'm just gonna be like, I don't know. Here's links. I don't even know what the hell part of them they are. Check. Some of these sound files are gonna be 3 seconds long. Okay.
Sam?
I said
Sorry.
things in a dystopian high-tech world, and why does tech hate me? So he's blinking now. He's back.
Oh, he's
I'm here. I could hear you the whole time.
Okay.
You were frozen.
You were just super still or frozen.
I was just looking at the chat, so maybe I wasn't frozen.
But then we saw you blink, so.
Okay. Fuck,
So
was I?
names. And names, and then we're just going to investigate the best way to steal this tree and put it in my pocket.
Yeah, okay. So it doesn't seem to quite understand the concept of a name, though it does seem like it's willing to cogitate on this, with the caveat that I would say above the table, you're pretty sure it does not understand the difference between a name and like a species.
Right. And also, just to keep in mind that the plant, even when I don't have speak with animals, can understand me at all times.
Yes. Yeah, oh yeah, it's going to live in there with Jebediah listening to Nero dialogue away and just being like, what the fuck is going on out there? We don't understand any of these terms. None of this means anything to us. Maybe Jebediah can show Tree Friend the rope.
There you go.
Ropes, not the rope. That takes on a very ominous meaning. Okay. I'm utterly, in a way that I am not normally, I would just like to congratulate the two of you for the fact that in my DMing career it is very rare where I'm just like, I don't fucking know what skill check this is. What is the skill check for how to best steal now sentient topiary without injuring the topiary? I don't know.
I feel like we need nature's sleight of hand. We need both.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm gonna say that
nature
you
and sleight of
need
hand.
nature and investigation.
Okay.
Investigation to kind of look at the area, figure out, okay, here and here. Nature is so that you don't like massacre little tree friend.
Yeah, so I can click on my character sheet and look at things. My nature is 0. And my intelligence is, my investigation is 0. So I will also just kind of wave Minnow over.
Oh, who I think has been like running over, we stealing shit? We stealing shit.
When you heard that there was like tree coming with us, you're just can you
Minnow's
help?
like jumping up and down.
The little tree wants to come with us. I'll let you know if you're hurting it.
Okay.
This is just a sauna, like, do we?
Oh my god, I'm just gonna have like a fucking, like I'm just gonna eventually carry around one of those big glass like bells or something that I just fill with moss and small animals and just...
You're gonna have to go back and be like, wait, no, never mind, I want to redesign my clothes again, Asana.
Right.
Can I get this into a terrarium?
You want me to do investigation? Is that what I'm rolling? And you're rolling nature?
I have 0 for both, so...
Oh.
I could
I
help.
have 5
You can
for
help each other.
investigation, and I have 2 for nature.
How about you do both and I can give you advantage?
Okay.
Yep, I'm good with that.
All right, here's my investigation. I will tell you what I rolled. It's a big old 14.
Okay, yeah, so you're
If I know this is happening, I can.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know what's
I-
you know what's happening.
Yes. Got a 4?
This is not subtle. Asana is having like fucking conniptions.
All right, a 15.
15. Yeah,
That helps.
you look
That's good.
around, it doesn't seem like there are any traps, security, like restraints on this in any way that you know of. Like, you don't recognize anything. You're also pretty sure that you could just sort of like use a dagger or like a short sword, a smallish blade, just sort of cut down and cut out and sort of square outline and pop little tree friend out. I'm just going to keep calling them little tree friend.
Okay. I think you meant trim. That's the direct object pronoun. Okay, and then a nature check with advantage as well.
Yeah.
That's a
21.
21, and if I get guidance on this as well?
Yeah, you can have that.
Okay.
24.
That's a 24.
Apparently, Minnow would have made an excellent horticulturist.
I don't want to be this person. Do I have? Never mind.
What?
I'm not gonna. We have exhaustion. Is that still affecting?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
That's why I
But
was
that would give you
straight
disadvantage, which would make it a straight roll, and both of those rolls were your
Yeah.
first rolls.
Those are still your first rolls.
rolls. Okay.
So Yeah.
Good job.
Good looking out, but yeah, it would still be the same.
I appreciate it. But
I
yes,
was like, I'm not gonna be this person.
Right.
No,
Throw
but
it
those-
away.
To be honest.
those are
Don't
your
you-
first rolls both times. So yeah, 24 for nature. You're able to very deftly sort of move through. You don't hit any of the little root structures. You have excised, I don't know, a 3 like cubic inch mass of soil that you just lift this little tree out and like hand it to Nero.
Okay, I'm gonna introduce you to Jebediah now, okay?
There, yeah, we're still inside the 10 minutes. Okay, what's a Jebediah?
And I open up my pocket and I say, Jebediah, this is our tree friend. They don't have a name yet. But is it okay if they live with you? If they live with you?
One eye lick.
All right. You guys are going to be great friends. And I'll just stick the tree and, a little bit of soil and stuff for the roots and everything in the pocket.
Okay.
Open up the flap, give it some, sun.
Okay.
I just realized I just keep touching my boob as I do this. So I'm just
I should have I was gonna say it should have made it like Jebediah has like relocated to like a hoodie pocket.
No. It's just gonna... Ow.
Okay.
And on to something else.
So you now all walk away from the line of trees which are slowly settling back into non-sentience. A tree in your pocket, along with Jebediah. Asana just looking like fundamentally broken. Like you have watched this woman fucking lead a Drakon assault squad on a merry chase to nowhere, point blank shoot a man in the head, and she's just like, yeah, it's in here.
This is the
These
point
type-
where, like, if this was like The Office or something, it would cut to like a separate scene with Asana just staring into the camera, like wondering what the hell she's doing.
Or like outside, like smoking a cigarette and like looking at the camera and being like, I haven't smoked in 2.5 years.
Yeah, pretty much. So you walk inside the door of this shop, and the shop seems to be in very good condition. Nicer, clean, tidy. A little disquieting as you walk in because like torsos and limbs and heads made of metal line the wall on shelves. With like tracks and wheels and everything. But when you go into this, and it's kind of interesting because compared to where you went into the broker's shop, where everything looked very chaotic, and it took you a little bit to be like, oh wait, no, there's a pattern underlying this. Like I can get that there's a logic to it. This you can instantly see. You're like, oh, if someone told me go get this piece of something, I think I've already figured out the system enough that I could. I think like Ketch and Minnow especially noticed that. I was like, oh yeah, okay. Ressa, you notice this. This is definitely a workshop. Like you can hear some faint metallic sounds coming. Like, okay, that's something being worked. And Minnow and Ketch, you also would notice ladders tucked in sort of in between shelves so that you can get up to the higher shelves very easily because the ceilings are about 15 feet tall. And then sitting at the desk, which sort of glows with a light bluish-white light, there's an apparently youngish elven man just sort of tapping his fingers on the desk in a rhythm that you've grown to associate with Asana, like tapping on her pad to like look for things. And he's kind of sitting there. And he'll look up and smile brightly, and his clothes are pristinely white. You're in a workshop. This is weirdly out of place. Their hair is close His hair is close cropped on the right, and then on the left is almost in a perfectly straight line around, and it fades from pink to almost amethyst near the back. And he'll and underneath the closely cropped hair, you can actually see there are small lights that will sort of flicker on and off, embedded into his skin. It's like, hello, and welcome to Kiner Brothers Mechanical Repairs, where mechanical innovation means you don't have to choose between aesthetics, function, and price. I'm Nulasha. How can I help you today? And Asana will sort of just be standing there for a second. Yes, sorry, distracted by some. We wish to speak to Mr. Scoutson. It's a matter of some urgency. The elf will sort of tilt his head aside. Of course, Mr. Scoutson. Let me just make a quick call, see if he's available. He's quite busy right now, what with all the customizations. They tap, and then you sort of see them, like, almost look into the middle distance. Yes, there's several people here to see Mr. Scoutson. Yes, it's urgent. Do you think he could... Oh, good, thank you so much. They seem quite eager. And he'll stand up, and he'll be like, yes, Mr. Scoutson, we'll see you if you just follow me. Do you all follow?
If Asana's going, I'm going.
Yep.
I'll follow. I want. Ressa would like to see more of the workshop.
Yeah, he'll sort of open a door that just slides into the wall. There's down the hallway. You can see the workshop sort of is spreading out. It's about a 20-foot hallway. Almost as soon as he's through the door, he pivots, taps a hidden keypad, and you see a hidden door slide down, this one indistinguishable from the wall. And he'll sort of point out, Mr. Scoutson, we'll see you now. And now you're beginning...
I would like to point out that Toylin just said in chat, I feel like we just walked into a D&D Apple store.
You ain't wrong. I am succeeding in hitting the vibe I was going for with this NPC's voice.
Random fact, my dad supplies a lot of the plants that go into the big Apple stores.
And now so does Nero.
So yeah, there you
Kind
go.
of the opposite.
Oh.
Yeah, but like bringing the plant into the store
True.
and being like...
Nero's anti-Rachel's dad. Anyway, that was irrelevant.
So there is very clearly a hidden door, again, leading down to a set of stairs. And now from underneath you can hear, and Ressa, I will say you and Ketch, probably particularly because of you, Ressa, with attunement to workshops, Ketch with a very sensitive sense of hearing. You can detect that there's now a totally separate set of like metalwork sounds happening that was not what you were hearing before, so this door must be very sound dampened. And you make your way down the stairs, and this workshop, like unlike the one you could see at the end of the hall, is very small and very cramped and very full of objects and components. There's tools sort of everywhere, and inside you find a pair of small figures, one gnome and one deep gnome. And a sort of nods at them, apparently unsurprised. At the same time, the two gnomes will pivot to look at you, and speaking simultaneously, so what do you want with Scoutson now? You've been here before, if I remember correctly.
Who are they? Who is he talking to?
He seems to be looking at Asana for the "you've been here
we're just like,
before."
We're like, what?
But it is the
What?
two of them are speaking and simultaneously used a singular pronoun. And Asana will be like, this one could use some help blending into the city as a matter of some urgency. And you're gonna see the two gnomes sort of hop off the workbench and again in lockstep walk up to you, Dent. and are now investigating you from either side and just like almost circling you in this perfect orbit where they're moving at the same time and investigating at the same time, but with two figures.
Synchronized investigation.
They're just sort of like, don't suppose you're going to tell me that this is a Foro mech falling off the back of a truck or something now, are you?
He's a person.
I've taken quite a few falls. Got quite a few dents.
That you do. You're sort of looking. I appreciate the honesty, and yes, you're no mech. Similar. But something else. And they're going to look you over for probably about 5 minutes. And then sort of again, walk back over, sit down on the bench simultaneously, both reach out, grab like a cup of what looks like coffee, drink simultaneously, put it down. If you're looking to stand out less, we have two basic options. We can either rework you, change the actual form, or we can try to produce a disguise of sorts. Bits and pieces to add on to make you seem like something people are used to seeing, because you're sure as hell not something people are used to seeing. Reworking will make things more stable, but also will be cutting into you. A bit like surgery for the rest of these folk. The disguise, you'll have to make sure it doesn't fall off or the like. I can go for either.
Will, you said it's a bit like surgery. Will it hurt?
Do the dents hurt?
When I get them.
Possibly then. Can try to see what I can do about that. I'm not used to working with things that experience pain.
Well, I guess there's maybe a first time for everything. What would the particular disadvantages be of option number 2?
Well, it's a...
What would that look like?
You okay, Rachel? I just saw a lot of like...
It
Oh,
was fine.
sneezing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're sort of, again, simultaneously going to lean back, scratch their chins contemplatively. Not a whole lot in some ways, but it's not as invasive. We don't have to discover whether you find out whether you experience pain with this or not, but it also means that things could fall off you. I'm imagining, gonna sort of, they'll again both crane their heads to the side, see like the sort of sword handles sticking up out of the back of Ketch's coat. You seem like you might engage in some physical activity, shall we say, which I can't really guarantee that the disguises are going to stay on perfectly. So, bits and bobs can come off when people are shooting at you.
What would he look like
Oh, well,
if option number 1 was used?
He's like, let me, and they go to sort of move simultaneously, and the gnome almost bumps into the deep gnome. Oh, just a second, almost forgot. And it'll hit a couple of keypads, and you'll just see the sort of deep gnome slump. Like, yeah, over here. And will like work his way over and pull down sort of a sheaf of paper and turn it. Like, well, I don't want to make him look too much not like him. One, it's a lot of work. I don't really want to cause someone to experience pain. Two, I'm not really entirely sure 100% what I'm doing with him, because that's not a mech. Let's just establish that right now. That, and he'll sort of point to the parts. These, not the same. I'm just trying to make him look like these. And he'll sort of like, so maybe... Odd question, laddie. If you were to remove your head, is that going to do the same thing to you that it would do to one of these?
Dent takes his head off and kind of looks
Fuck,
at
I
it.
hope that's a no.
I don't remember from before whether you said his voice comes out of the helmet when his head is off.
It's
Or
like sort of
It
the
whether-
neck.
comes like out of his neck hole.
Okay.
I really love these gnomes.
Currently, it's just one. The deep
I
gnome
was
is just
gonna
sort of
say
slumped
this
over.
gnome, right? Minnow, I
Yeah.
think, is like kind of very
Oh.
surreptitiously sidling closer to the deep gnome to just get to be like, "Are you okay?"
Did you say they're both talking at the same time, or?
They were speaking perfectly simultaneously
Oh.
until it appears like the gnome just turned off the deep gnome.
Oh,
Yeah, this is
Okay.
like some sort of like construct that is
jeez.
a
Why
second
am I
set of
so
hands.
bad at catching things? It's fine.
Hey, Rachel, what if we said that in a way that's nice to Rachel?
I'm sorry, Elise.
Are you?
No.
Are you?
Just saying.
And so he'll sort of like flip a couple of pages. He's like, so we don't want to mess with that too much, and we don't need to make him look exactly like something because he's not something, and that's just then going to be found out easier then. So I would say that just we look for stylings, for ways to make him less obtrusive, and he'll sort of point to, you're in your stealth form right now, right? Which is your sort of thinnest, most slender. He'll sort of point to ways to sort of add on some elements like visible sort of pistons and also slim down some of the leg design. And he's sort of showing it to you, Ressa and Dent, who are probably the most interested. Minnow, that body is just entirely still. It's just slumped over. You're sort of like,
I will look at Ketch and like be like, I think he's dead.
don't mind the extra. I'll wake him back up in a bit. Well, me.
Is his name the Extra?
No. His name's Scoutson.
Isn't your name Kotson?
Aye.
Are you brothers? Are you father and son?
That's Ketch's thing.
No, no.
Why did you make your extra look like a deep gnome? Didn't you have a choice? Like, why wouldn't you just make him identical to you? I don't know.
You don't just ask somebody those.
I didn't make him anything. It was a deep gnome. When I purchased the extra, there was an advantage to having different abilities.
Bought a person? Okay.
That depends on your definition. I bought a body.
So
dead body.
He is dead.
He's gonna sort of point to Dent. Is he a person?
Yes.
Yes.
The thing that makes him a person as opposed to these, pointing at a mech, this one didn't have when I bought.
Was it a zombie?
No, it was sort of grown.
In a
I
petri
hate
dish?
this place.
Everything was grown inside of a womb.
Nero, Dent, I don't believe was grown inside of a womb.
That's actually a really good point, Ketch. You're very smart.
I could be wrong though. Dent?
That's
I
one horrifying
don't
room.
remember. I don't remember if I've ever grown. I think I've always just been this big.
Also, like, eggs exist, Rachel. Jesus. It's fine.
Marsupials are a
You know-
thing.
Is fantasy? Oh yeah, I guess Asana probably hatched.
Your guide is a lizard folk.
I don't know, actually, if lizard folk are like live,
Well,
birds or
dragonborn at the
eggs.
very least come from eggs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
I like
So
how
what
we've
we're
just gotten
saying-
onto all the side tracks, and it's just
Yeah.
real good. Also, I feel like you're like, no, things that are alive come from a womb, as you have in your pocket a lizard and a tree, both of which are alive. You feel like I
Always
also,
think everything through before you said things.
and they both heard that.
I'm sorry.
Why is that one talking to his pocket?
Don't worry about it.
Why did you buy a body? Mind your business.
That enough? So, and I think that the biggest part would be getting the head details to look a little bit different, which apparently not really a problem vis-a-vis doing harm to you. And so he's going to sort of show you several different options of robot head. He's like, just to be clear, and sort of waves his hand in front of the visor. Are you looking down at this or out of this?
Sorry, I don't quite understand the question. What?
Where
It's-
does your vision
He's double
come
checking because
from?
your voice is still coming out of like your neck hole. Are you still perceiving from your head, or is it coming from your sort of neck area?
I think my perception is kind of coming from wherever the topmost part of me is at any one moment. So
Makes
like
sense.
if I detach my head, it's my neck.
Topmost contiguous part of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that works for me. So it's like,
Whichever one looks the most like Daft Punk.
okay, yeah, we can do that. So if you point to that one, there's actually one that has a large, sort of glassy black panel that sort of drops over where a face would be, and he's going to sort of tap a couple buttons on the side of it, and it will light up in essentially an LED pattern simply of a face, and then he'll sort of click through and you'll see different patterns. Like, I'm pretty sure I can make this so that you can control it without hitting the buttons.
And I'll need this anyway, but we're also gonna have to do stuff to me.
The diagram he showed you was mostly like around your legs. We will take a break in a minute as well. I just wanted to get through the tree napping incident was unanticipated.
That tree consented to going with us. I just want to say,
Fair.
I don't think it's a
Fair.
kidnapping.
The tree liberation.
There you go.
There we go.
The treeberation. That sounded way closer to masturbation than I intended for it. So
I don't think anybody else went there.
Like something needs to be said about wood, but
I freed the wood.
Oh god. No, it's in your pocket. It's actually in your
Little
pocket.
Yeah.
I like how Sam's just like,
Happy to see me.
all right. So he's mostly focused on sort of augmentations to sort of your legs, and it's that profile that seems most different. With the slenderer torso, he's gonna put in just some detailing, sort of work on the surface, some design patterns, and sort of the difference between this is he's gonna more permanently mount this to you than if it was just like stuck on with like Velcro. And yeah, but if that sounds good to you, he'll probably get to work.
I think now would be maybe a good time to go into break because I think I want to have my little Nero aside.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and take, we'll take about a 10-15 minute break. We will be back with the continued life of the rogue Nameless Tree, and Triz, roommate, Jebediah, the secret agent lizard. We'll be back in just a few minutes, everybody. Remember, you can use !goat giveaway in the chat if you're a Helpful Goat follower, which is totally free to do, and get entered in a giveaway for a very fun Moontree Isle t-shirt. We will be back in just a few minutes. Hello, everybody. We are back. Hopefully, God willing, and the
Okay,
tech
possibly.
ghosts don't haunt us. Keeping an eye on my Craigs. I have 8 DMs from Craig, by the way. It's just it's a
Wow.
lot.
More than I ever
Kind of
got from that
intrusive.
mic. I mean, what can I say?
There it is. We brought it back. We brought it back. I think before we hop back into the second portion, really, with where we are in the timeline, I think I'm going to go ahead and close out the drawing and go ahead and draw the winner on our first giveaway, just because we don't want to get way too late for people who might be on the East Coast. So,
Drum roll, please.
it's not how we do that. There we go. And
Chris!
Wait, what? Where do you see it?
It says
Oh,
it-
there.
Congratulations,
It only
Chris.
just came
You
up now.
won
Yay!
congrats, Chris.
Woo!
So you can click that link
Like,
and get into the. I also love the fact that y'all can't see this, but in my little overlay for the thing, it's like notification, Vex is your winner, and then there's just a button in the lower right hand corner that just says okay. That's how I dismiss it. I'm like, that feels extremely passive aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. And it's the spelled
I get
out
whatever.
version, which makes it worse. It's like we're not even going for brevity. Yeah, fine. Just recaption that button.
I'm
Fine.
excited.
Fine. Yeah. So you can pick the color, you can pick the size of the shirt. And yeah, we're gonna start having these happen a little bit more often now that we have merch and are figuring out the giveaway technology. Cool. Thank you so much, everybody. And like I said, we'll be doing these a bit more. So keep tuned for that. Yep, good, fine, awesome, great, it's fine. I got broken by the trees. What can I say? Because the worst thing was, I will also say, I completely forgot until you reminded me that Speak with Plants was an AoE spell. I was like, yeah, you pick a target. And then I'm like, nope, it's the whole damn topiary arrangement. Fuck me then.
I talk to as many plants as possible if I can.
I can never let you find where the Arboretum is in this town.
I was gonna say we will lose Nero in the woods.
Right.
Elise just did a manual push the button and got a Pokemon.
Sorry, what?
What?
It's not a Pokemon. It's like a fish of some sort. Please Google.
Oh, it's a dugong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a,
which is, but
marine
I
mammal.
just thought it was funny because phonetically it's also a Pokemon.
where
Wait,
the-
how did it work?
It doesn't. I'm using a random animal generator every time someone
fucking
says.
God, I'm so stupid. I'm like, it's you that dugong, you dumb butthole. Jesus.
Be
I'm
nice to our
like,
friend Rachel.
I'm sorry, you're right. You smart butthole? I don't know.
Okay, and see, so I will say that I had something very similar to what you were experiencing, just on the flip side of it, because I was pretty sure I knew exactly what was happening. So I'm like, wait, what do people mean she's gotten the command to work? What? How? I know it doesn't exist. I code them. Okay. That
I think
is
Sam
fair,
froze
Rachel.
again.
Kung Fu Dugongs.
Okay. The Lena saying that they're delicious.
And then she meant
I
to
was
say adorable, but she
I was
said
really
delicious.
surprised. I was like, I am both shocked that you've had dugong before and shocked that it's delicious. I would
Sounded
never
just
have guessed by
wrong.
looking at it that is a delicious food, but Sam's gone.
I just love I did not mean delicious. I meant adorable. Which, to be fair, I consider similar rankings. If cute, probably a delicious. Here we see the
Sam,
majestic
you can
dancing
hear
squares
us?
of Sam. And now Sam.
Hi, Sam.
looking decidedly less majestic than the dancing squares. Anywho, in the first half, we discussed fashion. We talked to some topiaries. Asana just realized how in over her fucking head she is with this group, and received immediate commiseration from Dylan, who was just like, I know, it's okay. They really do keep you safe generally.
Generally, he hasn't died yet.
And then you all got to a mech repair shop with a very odd technician. There are some concerns persisting about this technician, who is either one or two gnomes. It's a little bit hard to tell. And Dent is being offered the option of essentially being remodeled slightly, or being just sort of disguised, and now has turned to Nero, I think, and seems to sort of indicate that he maybe needs a little bit of time. And Scoutson will actually be like, that makes sense. I need to go take care of something for the moment anyway. Get some parts either way. And he's going to go back up the stairs that you all came down, presumably to go to the workshop to grab something.
Yeah. So I think like as that initial inspection was really going on, I think in the moments leading up to it, like even walking towards this shop, Dent was kind of just like feigning a little bit of confidence that like this was totally okay and that he's like ready to do this, even though he didn't really know what it would mean when he was told it until now. And I think right now he's just kind of feeling a lot of very complex things, and I think that has kind of bubbled up to the surface a bit. And I think he probably would have wanted to just like step out for a moment and like catch some air, not that Dent breathes. My assumption is that at this moment it probably would have been Nero that would have followed him out.
Yeah, I'll follow you out and just I don't remember if does everybody know about Ed? Do I know about Ed? Like specifically, like everybody knows that you. I only ask because I know I was with you when it happened, but I just can't remember if it was like a thing that like we know that Ed is in your brain.
I immediately like told everyone in the party.
It was a while ago, so I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going off the assumption of like I know this, and you're just like you don't know this. Hey, pal.
Hi. So this is all a lot right now. Don't you think? Like, not just. And then he just kind of vaguely gestures towards like everything around, but also like towards the shop.
I'm nervous about having something implanted in myself. It sounds like you have to have so much of your body changed from what you know of yourself. It must be difficult.
Yeah, you know, I've been thinking about, how back at, the village on the dock by the docks of Moontree Isle. It was an isle. I got called a monster. And here there's others that, I've been repeatedly told that I am not a mech, but they definitely kind of look like me. But even still, I find that I don't I don't fit in. I still have to change myself to do that. And I remember, asking Dylan and you if I could learn that disguising trick, but it has eluded me. It's weird. And having, traveled through time and stuff, I don't know. Is there a place or a time that I could still go to? Or be better yet, is there a place back at home? Your time, that people wouldn't think of me like that, like a monster.
That's a tough question. I'd like to think that even though you're different, and even though you're seemingly one of a kind, that most people who are surprised by you don't think you're a monster. I think the one who did was scared from all the changes that were happening in their home. They were already primed to be wary of things that they didn't know and to think they were bad. I don't think that most people feel that way about you. And if they do, then that just means that you're better than most people. And
Dent starts like spinning the joint on his pinky that is the fishing rod, and he you say that, and I think it might be true. Maybe. There was an awful lot of people back in Tormenryle that made me feel quite uncomfortable, which is why, I was not really there outside of the Fisher's Market. But, I guess on the more bigger picture, I know that I want us to, get back to Moontree Isle, for Asana. She's basically or one of the main parts of our mission, as well as, figuring out what the heck is going on, really. But I realized that, I don't know, I don't really feel homesick. And I get the sense that maybe that's something you guys all want. I don't really even know what that means. But, I don't know.
well, would you say that you associate... I know that you haven't been around for very long, as you know right now. Do you associate home with a place, or do you associate home with the people? So do you already feel like you're home because you're with the Marauders?
That's kind of where I'm at right now. With, my they're coming back to me, my memories of, what my existence was like before meeting the Marauders. And maybe it's because I'm with you all that they have started to trickle back in. But, all they are at this point is just, fleeting little vignettes of what my life, my existence was like. I don't know if those small little memories are enough to call a home. But for now, I feel like maybe my home is, absolutely up until this moment, I've been completely confident that my home is with you all, with us, the Marauders. And I will do what I have to, help us. And if that means changing my armor a bit, what's a little, light here, a little, a change of helmet there, as long as it's still me, right? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I don't even know if that's how I feel just yet, but maybe.
It's new, and I'll say you're being pretty brave to go through and make all those changes, and I'll make the change too. I'll do whatever it is that I need to do to make sure that we can all get by as well. I don't want you to have to make a change alone, and while I know that mine isn't as drastic, I think that it'd be good if we did it together. And once we do get back to our time, because we will, maybe we can take some of that time to try and help you figure out who it is you are and what it is you want. If you want to remember, if you want to move on, if you want to find more people like you, there's endless possibilities. There's not only one path for you to find out and decide who you are.
Yeah, I guess that's a interesting way of thinking about it. I feel like this whole time I've been lured down one path.
Heh.
And I haven't really felt like I've had too much of a choice in where I'm going. But for now, I feel like my directives are pretty clear. At least in this one moment. And it'll be an interesting several bridges to have to cross once we're back home. Once we are back home. All right. Think I'm ready. As ready as I'm gonna be. And
I'll hold out my hand if you wanted to. You don't have to take it, but Nero would.
Oh, he's absolutely gonna take it.
Right. And then we can hold hands and walk back inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. You walk back inside at some point. Actually, I'll ask, what would the others have done? What would the rest of you have done sort of when this happened? So, Scoutson left to go get some parts. Nero and Dent left to sort of go talk. Would you have done anything in particular? Would you have sort of stayed down there? Would you have gone up to sort of the showroom or the workshop upstairs?
I would be poking around looking at things.
I would be poking around looking at Scottson, the deep gnome.
Okay.
Specifically, I would be trying to find the button to turn him back on.
Feeling his undercarriage,
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we saw what kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him push a button. I don't know.
So, yeah, okay. So, gonna resolve these, and then catch anything.
Catch, you can, like, if anyone is actually looking at Catch, you can clearly see he's kind of almost struggling, maybe to. You get the idea that he's trying to work up to something, and so to just kind of pop into Catch's head for a hot second, Catch is trying to find the right opportunity where he's not a bother, but also kind of muster up the kind of confidence to kind of ask Bressa to kind of like talk for a second. But when he sees how like excited she is about all these like things that are in this massive shop, you just kind of see him he's just, I don't know, he's just kind of like apprehensive and just kind of anxious, I guess. Kind of sitting quietly.
So, Bressa, as you're looking around, you can actually see a number of the tools that are there, and a number of these applications are Tinker's tools.
Okay.
So you're getting a sense now of, okay, this is what these can do. Dellen has actually gone upstairs just to sort of look at the showroom. This room is not very big, so everyone being here was like two of you were probably on the stairs, just sort of still looking in. So you're again, it's reinforcing this dream knowledge that you had of how you use Tinker's tools. And like, oh, okay, and I can see that you can do these kinds of things with them, and oh, okay, that makes sense.
I think one of my goals would be to watch what's going on, how he works, as he works, pick up as much as I can, because I think I would at some point reassure Dent, okay, if you wanted to go back to the same way you looked before, I might be able to help.
Okay. Minnow, give me an investigation check in an attempt to find the button.
I suppose that's at disadvantage.
Yep, but you do have guidance, as the hands are indicating.
Your head is being massaged.
I have not found an icon yet to be able to make that into a good emote in the Discord. I've tried.
Okay. What am I investigation? Oh boy. Let me add that guidance. 10.
10. You're not able to find it. It did seem to almost have like an origin, like a localized origin, but the buttons were actually on the other Scoutson's wrist. And you can actually see that as much as they were moving identically, they don't have identical equipment or gear on. Like this one doesn't have sort of that bracer that had a keypad that the other one touched. So Scoutson will come back, and sorry.
Would
was
I?
just gonna ask, yeah, like with my passive perception of 18, could we say that I noticed Catch looking
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same thing.
or I know that I'm at like investigating on
Yeah. You're also at a passive
Scoutson
perception
Junior,
of
but-
13 because you have disadvantage.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, -5 for advantage, or -5 for disadvantage, +5 for advantage for passive skills, which is almost only used in cases like this, where exhaustion has triggered something.
Learn something new every day.
You notice that Catch is a little bit quiet for Catch, but I would say that to expedite scenes and actually sort of flow of things, you kind of notice it about the same time that Scoutson comes back with sort of like parts under his arm, and then you'll see him tap his sort of bracelet again, and other Scoutson will stand up. And then Nero, I almost said Rachel and Dent, Nero and Dent will come down the stairs and come in, and Dent will say that he's ready. I'll also say, Ressa, if you expressed to Scoutson that you kind of wanted to watch so you could, it'd be like, that's a wee bit risky because the room is quite small, and there's going to be superheated gas, and sort of the rest, torch. However, if you're interested, I could provide you with a recording of the thing with my notes, if that would be helpful to you.
If that's the only way I can get it, then yes, I would be grateful.
Can you also provide us with a torch?
I mean, do you want to buy a torch?
Can I see this torch? I think you and I have different definitions of torches because mine doesn't superheat gas.
He's gonna hand you a small curved sort of metal pipe, like quite small, like finger sort of diameter.
I'm gonna look at Asana. And
She's
I'm
gonna be like, you
like,
don't want to start that. Burns are not fun.
okay.
I can help you if you want to investigate these elsewhere. They are not difficult to come by.
And I wouldn't know anything about torch.
That's not a tinker's tool. That's sort of out the other side into this is very modern.
Okay.
It's acetylene wielding torches essentially.
Okay.
But yeah, no,
I'll just
you were
hand
waiting
the
for
torch back then.
Yeah, you were waiting for a stick of wood with like some oil-soaked
Yeah.
cloth wrapped around. This is not bad. You're still not quite sure what the hell he means about superheated gases. And then
I
actually,
cast light on it, and I'm like, I made it work anyway. Hand it back.
Okay.
He's like, why are you so contentious towards
All
me?
right. That's nice. Tell me, lad. Yeah, are you good? Looking at you, Dent.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Are you good? You want to do this?
Well, sure, I don't think I'm getting put under for it, but here goes.
I had a thought about that because you could take your head off and it doesn't hurt you. I wonder if you could do the same, like if you removed a foot or a leg. And like if something is going to be replaced, if you remove it first yourself, that
he can't really disassemble most of himself. That's actually mostly just his head. So for example, when he passed out and like his glove came off, that was the first time any of you had seen his hand just fall off. That was sort of why you were like, oh shit, he's turning into armor. That's not good. But as you're sort of thinking about this, Scoutson is kind of looking and he goes, there's patterns here that are both related to magic and tech, but also a little bit of biology, like a nervous system. Yeah, I'm terribly sorry if this hurts. I want to try something. And he's gonna tap your right hand, and you feel like thump, thump. If it's that. And he's gonna sort of do something, and you feel a slight twinge, and he's gonna tap your hand again, and you do not feel it.
I didn't feel that. Can you make me feel it again?
You know, like, and tap, and you can feel it. It's like the system's design is like nerves, but what's underlying it is like circuits. So I think I can maybe, hopefully, shut down parts of it and make you not feel it.
Is this something I'm gonna have to roll for?
I was literally thinking that was Dent asking it, and I'm like, Scoutson is very confused by this question. No, actually, this is something Scoutson will need to roll for.
Oh, good.
Right, do we trust Scott's roll?
Leave it to the NPC.
However, you can also help him by giving him feedback of like, okay, yeah, that's working. No, that's not working. Like, still feel, etc.
And if he lets me stay, I can help his rolls.
Oh, I absolutely need Ressa to stay. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will give him continual guidance.
So he's not going to start the surgery, so you can stay for this part. Like, he's trying to figure out this system first. I'd also say, Ressa, he's being very methodical. Like, he is trying to avoid this. You do get a good sort of feeling, I would say, with passive insight of he's legitimately trying not to hurt Dent. He meant what he said when he's like, I don't hurt things. They don't hurt. So I don't really want to start now. So give me the guidance roll.
Sam's doing that, right?
I think I don't have guidance.
So.
Oh yeah, it's Galway would roll it. Because it's the NPC rolling
True enough.
guidance.
Yeah. All right. Wow, I just did that in Scottson's voice. So that was a 30 total for Tinker's Tools. So 20. Wait, no. Oh, I see. It was adding those together. It was a 26.
Was that with advantage because I was helping him?
Yeah. I just rolled it as 2d20s and it added them together. I'm like, wait, how did a single die get to a total of 22 when he doesn't have a mod in that? I was adding it manually. The hell? I will also say the advantage dodged a 2 and got an 18.
Ooh.
Or rather, dodged a 4 and got an 18. Yeah, he's going to take about 20 minutes and just go through sort of piece by piece. There's a couple of false starts, but he seems to be able now to like very accurately turn off sensation for you. At least pain and like sort of physical contact sensation. And he's just going to sort of look at you like, with this, do you think you're good, laddie? I do not want you to be scared. Not normally a thing I have to say.
I'm.
Oh no, you just cut out.
Oh, Sam.
The timing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is like, oh, it shuts down.
Oh no.
Nope, sorry. Still figuring it out.
Am I back?
Pulls the
I
gun
got
and
you all.
Got him.
Yes.
Bring it back.
Jesus.
Oh
Yeah, you're back. We got the word I'm. Oh
no.
Did he not hear us say he's back?
I think he heard me doing my bit about Minnow first. Sorry.
Or he thought you were pulling a gun on him.
He's like, I gotta go.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, you are back. Hello, Sam. We see you.
Yeah,
We hear
so
you.
what's strange is like every time it cuts out, like I cut out, Galway freezes, but I can still hear everyone and everyone else is moving.
So weird.
That's really weird.
Waka waka.
But you can't hear me, so it doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah.
We heard I'm.
He had just... Am I back?
Yes.
Hello?
Oh my god. Yes. You
I
are.
thought you were thinking.
Yeah.
Rachel, did you just spit water?
I'm okay.
I
I saved it.
Yes, so he had just asked me if I was afraid or that he didn't want me to be afraid, and I had just tried to respond, but I don't know if it picked up. But I had said that Dent's not normally afraid of things. But he is going to do what needs to be done. And then, that's what I said. So.
Okay. So he'll.
And
Hmm?
I would speak up and say, and Dent, if you want me to stay, and then I'll look at Scottson and say, will that make any difference?
You're asking Scottson if it'll make any difference?
Yeah.
He's sort of
Because he
like,
told me I couldn't.
I'd much prefer you weren't here. Look, I can give you a view into it if you just connect your data port up. I can show you the thing as it's going. In addition to the recording being transferred to you.
I'll look over to Asana.
Asana will be like, yes. Perhaps use mine. And she's gonna do that. There's a slight interchange, and you're gonna see her project an image down onto her pad that she carries with her. So it does look like that is recording. You can see it from there.
Awesome.
You actually see yourself in the room. And he'll sort of wave you all up the stairs. I will also say, like, as you're sort of going up and you're reviewing this, and Asana has reassured you that this will be saved. Like, this, you will be able to go back and watch this again later. So
Okay.
he is casting it to me, I am casting it to this, and then this will all be saved. You will have access to this. You will have a record of this in this moving picture format. I didn't really get to explain videos at any point. There's kind of a lot.
I assumed it was. Oh my god! I just lost the word for it.
Scrying?
Illusory
an
magic.
illusion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Illusory
A
magic.
hologram.
She's gonna sort of. It is related, but this is more technology than magic. But as you're going up the stairs, and the doors sort of are sliding down, I will say you notice that Ketch kind of keeps like looking at you and then like continuing to walk upstairs. And yeah, you all are upstairs. There doesn't really seem to be much of anyone around. Scottson has suggested it'll probably only take him about like 35 minutes. Shouldn't go too far. Mostly he's adding on pre-built elements, so.
Well, I would probably speak up and say, "What's on your mind, Ketch? You okay?"
Where did we end up when we left?
You went sort of up to the hallway where that hidden door is. You could go outside to the line of topiaries that are no longer walking around, or not walking around, no longer sentient. So you could step outside, you could step into sort of the workroom, you could stay in the hallway and just sort of get some distance down the hall.
Okay. You catch a huh? Could we maybe go outside?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Walk outside. Is everything okay? I know. I mean, we're all a little discombobulated.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're gonna see you've never seen Ketch like this fidgety before. And oh, did we lose Sam?
We lost Sam.
So you'll see Ketch is fidgety and his tail is just all over the place. And then so I'm gonna Ressa, I don't really want to burden you, but I really believe that you will probably be one of the ones to actually make it out of here. I mean, Minnow is smart and sneaky. She's also struggling with some stuff, so I don't want to burden her with this. and then there's Nero. I mean, Nero believes that Minnow is his moral compass. And then I'm gonna point at the trees and we'll be like, they stole a tree.
You do see someone who looks like they're wearing a uniform looking down at like this row of topiaries, like,
and so Minnow being his moral compass, I mean, somebody really needs to tell him that he's actually ours.
Yeah.
You know, he's always trying.
I don't know that he'd believe us.
I know, but he's always trying to make the best of everybody and know everybody and it just.
He sees the good in everybody.
Yeah, and it's really annoying, but it's so hopeful, and it's just so I can't ask him to do this, and then there's Dent. I really believe that Dent is home wherever there is fish, and when he's got that
And maybe us.
voice in his head, and I mean he seems to be like okay and on that, but he's also got a lot going on there, so. I don't want to bother him with this, and I know you got a lot going on too. I mean, your god is like wonky and things were weird, and I was kind of hoping that you would. What I'm trying to say is, and you'll see him stop for a second, and his tail is going to come up and just kind of rest on his own shoulder. I was just kind of hoping that maybe you could do me the honor and you'll see him kind of like look at his tail, almost like they're like conversing mentally, and his tail will kind of nod. And if you remember from earlier when he went to pull out the picture for Minnow, he pulled out a piece of paper first and then realized that was wrong and he tucked it back. But you'll see he pulls that paper out of his pocket and you're going to see him kind of like fold it back and forth in his hands. If I don't make it with you all, would you do me the favor and the extreme honor of giving this to those rambunctious, annoying, sweet little siblings? Okay. They're gonna want to know, and I'll hand you this piece of paper, and you will see like it's folded very intricately, but on it is listed out all of the names of all 10 siblings.
And I will take it, and absolutely. But we're not going back without you.
I try not to really show, I mean, I write stuff, but I adventure, and these are my two things, and I don't always think, and sometimes I just do, and I need them to know that no matter what, that they have been with me. And they need to know that if my death comes, it was glorious.
And they will, if that happens, which, I'm not going to let it. I'm going to do my best to keep all of you up and running. But if the circumstances warrant, give them the best damn story they've ever heard, and let them know that they were every minute.
Thank you.
You can count on that.
They mean the world. It is
scary. Yeah, they do. I know they do. And I know they've been with you, on your mind.
Yeah, because it's like I'm here, I'm doing all this stuff, but I know they're in my things. They're making a mess of my room, and they're just mom and dad are letting them do it because they're cute, they're young. But
well, you always come home to them. So
Yeah.
kind of normal.
I just, yeah.
Think about that, and there's a little in this, oh my god, place we've gotten ourselves.
I know it. I mean, it's kind of cool, right? I mean,
Really cool, but
it's so
really
cool.
scary.
I know, but
it's
like these digs are really, really cool. I mean, it's. But yeah, I just. It's just really been on my mind. I know it's not. It feels like we've been here forever, and I know. I don't even. Have we even been here a day? I just.
no, I don't think so.
While we were shopping, it's, I don't know, something about buying these clothes, and when we were with the broker, and it's made it so real and almost permanent that I had this overwhelming feeling that I wasn't going to see them again.
Oh, you will, and I feel I have that same sense that the more we do, we're buying I'm going to get the data port because I trust Asana about that. She's been here for 3 years. And, I know we need to help ourselves. And these are things get out of here. And maybe the only reason she's been here is because there haven't been enough of us here to band together and all get out. So maybe there's the difference.
Well, Nero promised that he would help find Asana, so
yeah, he found Asana.
that he did. Let's just see if we can get her and us back.
Yep, all of us. I'll go to give you a hug if you'll let me.
A stiffen just a minute, but then
real slow, so you have a chance to give me a signal.
He'll relax and and he'll let it happen.
Okay, give me a hug. You pat. Yeah, I think we need to get some more sleep too, because we're all exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what we do from here.
I don't either. I think that's where we count on Asana. She has a plan, and I need some time this evening to talk to Bayan, see if I can find some answers. And I know he's listening, even if I can't hear. So,
hopefully he'll give you something useful.
He always seems to. In strange ways sometimes. I don't know.
You'll see Ketch is almost like he's lost his almost like he's lost the ability to really function because emotion has taken over, and that's not normal for him. So it's
Aww.
You'll see him kind of look down and be like, we should go see how Dent is.
All right. And you remember, I don't know, Fressa. I was going to say, do you want to calm emotion? But I had offered, out loud, so I don't know. All right, yeah, we should.
Ketch would be weirded by that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's he doesn't even know how to deal with the emotion, let alone what it would be like to have a different emotion cover up that emotion.
But it's only a minute anyway.
Yeah.
So you all head back in sort of the front, which has a bit of a waiting room. Real quick, Minnow, could you give me an insight check?
At disadvantage. Because I hate
Unfortunately, yes.
myself. Okay. I could just not say it every time.
Oh,
10.
10.
Even with that, I will say with a 10, Nalasha, the elven man who is sort of working as sort of the front desk person, is kind of trying to cover it, but he's pissed about something. Like he's angry, and is visibly. It's not that you even quite see the anger. You see a person trying to not be angry. And you're not entirely sure what to do with that, but there is that. Dent, down in the workshop, Scottson is going through very carefully. Almost think of this as like almost the manner that he has is if you're Sam frozen.
Oh, I think he is.
I was like, he hasn't blinked.
Now there's the.
Has he said he can hear us the whole time?
What is the
Yeah,
name?
Yes,
Well, we're
no.
wait.
You're back.
He's moving. We can see him.
yes, I can hear you the whole time.
Okay,
Go
cool.
away.
So if I see you freeze, I'm probably just going to keep talking unless I see you actually drop.
Unless you need me to respond.
But Elise, sorry, you were asking a question real quick.
I just wanted to know the name of the person at the front desk who is angry, the elfin man, I think you said.
Nulasha, Nulasha. And he seems to be an elvish man dressed in all white. His hair is sort of close cropped on one side, which is revealing some tech augments, and then on the other, it's sort of a pink fading to purple.
Okay, thank you.
Scoutson is being very careful. It's almost the manner of like a really good haircut. Like he's kind of making small talk with you. He's chatting with you. He's making sure like, is this okay? How do you like this? Because he showed you diagrams before, but he's kind of touching base with you. You kind of even correct him a little bit sometimes, like maybe could it be more like this, and he'll make adjustments. And then he's going to fit the robotic head onto your arm. And he's like, all right, laddie, this is. In order for you to be able to control this, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of wiring, but you don't have wires, but you don't really have nerves, and I'm also not a neurosurgeon, so it's good that you don't really have nerves, but I'm gonna have to make some connections, and it could get a wee bit weird, but never fear, everything should be back-outable.
Can I ping Ed?
Hey, buddy, this place is weird, right?
You already know that I'm gonna say yes to that.
Sure do.
You know about my physiology, yes?
Within reasonable parameters.
Is there any advice that maybe I may be able to communicate to Sconson that, for the endeavor that he is about to go through and giving me a new head?
Well, buddy, if he's looking to give you primary control of that, you might want to have him use sort of the second channel from the right. That normally would control your ability to like turn your head and things. Not that you really need to turn your head, but you seem to like to do it.
Second from the right.
Oh, hey, good. Very good. And you're gonna feel and just like before when sort of the numbness would snap in, your perception snaps off. You are standing before a set of walls. From the forest, dark creatures emerge. Multi-limbed, shadowy. The battle line stands. You are tired. You are worn down. You have had to abandon stronghold after stronghold, but this one will not fall. These creatures will not take this one. you can't breathe heavily, but you want to. That's the kind of fatigue that even you are experiencing. You can see the lines to your right and to your left, the battered elves and dwarves and humans, halflings, gnomes, orcs, goblins. This isn't an army, it's the remnants of every army that was fighting for this cause, left, trying to hold this last point. And as the creatures edge their way forward, that even now your mind is dimly aware you have seen this before when you fell unconscious, but is also enmeshed in this moment. There is a great and terrible noise as the sound of fabric tearing, stone shattering, wood splintering. Just a noise of every type of destruction. And you cast your eyes up in the sky, and covering much of the horizon now, stretching up an impossible distance, broken through the sky itself, you see doors slowly creaking open. You feel the terror run through the line. This is everything that you have fought against. This is everything you must prevent. And you look back down along the line, and for just a moment, you lose your sense of it. Why did you expect to see battered elves and dwarves and an ancient city wall? In the plains with you, there's Minnow and Ketch, Ressa, and other figures that somehow you feel you should know, but you do not know. And Nero, sorry, I lost a name.
Like, was I not there?
And Dellen.
And not Dellen.
Not Dylan.
And you look back and forth along the line, and these figures that you should know but don't know, these figures that you do know and are comforting. And you look back to the sky, and the doors are there, and they are opening. And then you wake up, control over a new head. You sort of turn, you can feel it, you can change the patterns at will. You have an awareness of what the pattern that's showing is, even if though you can't see it.
Can you do the thing one more time?
The thing, laddie. Wait. No,
Yeah,
no,
whatever you did that put me under.
Alright. Bit peculiar, but and he'll do it, and you sort of feel the sensation of losing sensation in your head, in your new head, and that's it. Would you like me to bring it back now? The lights are getting a little bit funny with you not having control over them. Sort of like a screensaver going on. It's a bit peculiar to look at.
Is there a little box that goes just almost hits the corner but just misses it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, you can bring me back.
You have sensation. And with that, I think we will wrap up for tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching along. Thank you so much, everybody, for playing. Hope you enjoyed this very much. Like I said, if you would like to follow us, you can give us a follow here on Twitch. We stream multiple times a week. Next week, we will have coming up on Wednesday, Goats of Saltmarsh, where Helpful Goat plays the Ghosts of Saltmarsh, DM'd by Rachel. That will be on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Also DM'd by Malcolm?
Jasper.
On Thursday, we have Spire, DM'd by Elise. I'm pointing at the wrong side because I'm looking at the goddamn Discord. It's fine. Overlay. Pointing. DM'd by Elise. It's fine. Which is a lot of fun. We just had the first annual Blood Ball there, and I'm sure there are absolutely no repercussions from inflicting one mind stress on like a couple hundred people.
No, there's no repercussions in Spire ever,
Yeah, no.
Nothing bad ever happens.
You can just fucking mentally scar a large gathering and be like, peace, we out.
Murder people.
Yeah. Few dead bodies left.
Few dead bodies. We got the permits.
We did. I got all the permits.
Alvi got all the permits, so.
And then on Friday, we will have Goats and Dragons, The Fates of Rin, in which the family continues trying to save themselves, the world, get out of their own way. And you, Burbage. But yeah, if you would like to join our Discord, where we do lots of events like movie nights, game nights, etc., you can use !Discord to get a link in chat. You can use !merch to get our merch shop link, which will have the very fun Moontree shirt that we just gave away tonight. Congratulations again, Chris. There, and yeah, tune back in again to see us real soon, hopefully. From all of us here at Helpful Goat, thank you so much for watching. Thank you much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening. Be safe, be well, take care of yourselves and of each other. Love y'all.
Bye.
It's your gym out.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't cross the street.